write it all. Whatever. You're going balls. I'm going to mog you, Pinnock.
Boys, Pinnock.
What are we doing for what are we doing for a cold opening?
I think we have it.
No? Anyone have any stories?
I think we have it.
The only story I have is you.
That's a sad story.
I mean, I could tell you guys what
I think we do. I think we do kind of have it. Yeah.
Yeah, Ty had a cool fucking scary sex dream.
It was not a sex dream.
Wait, what happened?
Have you not read it?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, let me find it. Okay, so this was yesterday night.
Okay.
I said I had a crazy dream last night that I nearly forgot about, and I sent this at 5 p.m. yesterday. I was outside at night and noticed like 2 extra moons, so I climbed a tree and to get higher up to get a better look around, and turned out there were 6 total moons and 2 fully eclipsed stars surrounding the sky. Obviously, I freaked out and ran inside to basically tell everyone that the world was ending. And one of the stars started becoming uneclipsed and was heating up our side of the globe, but totally frying the side closest to it. And then this crazy-looking, extra-dimensional druid woman arrived and explained that she was like a 4th-dimensional being and was passing judgment on the Earth, and the celestial bodies were under her control. So then there was a montage of me getting geared up, sharpening a sword and shit, and when I was ready, I attacked the crazy druid lady. Sword broke after I stabbed her, and then I just got vaporized.
What the fuck? That's a wild-ass dream.
Yeah. Also, I added some context after, because I was talking to Braden, and I said she was also, like, really excessively hot for no reason.
I'll say, what sword did you break?
It was like a replica sword, so it wasn't anything special. But we sharpened it. There was like a stretch of like sharpening it on like a grindstone, and then like I stabbed her right in the chest, and it just snapped right off at the handle.
Oh,
damn!
Shit. That's a wild dream.
Yeah.
Let's say like, oh yeah, like talking about like the moons and in terms of like 6 or like the planets. So I was like, I think the twin
celestial Madonna. She was about to end the world.
Celestial Madonna. That's
yeah. So she burned the globe.
Yeah.
And we did not.
Do you remember what she looked like?
Super hot. Super hot.
Super hot. I want to see your like vision of this. Like
let me. I have a D&D character that she kind of looked akin to. So
okay, that's what I was wondering if anyone looked similar.
But just way hotter, way more overtly sexual. It was kind of like this character, but way more like overtly sexual.
Oh damn.
But
Let's see.
When she first showed up, in my head, I was like, "Damn, girl!" And then she was revealed herself to be evil, and I was like, "Oh, damn!
Damn, I'm gonna kill you, girl."
You had like a cool like Tony Stark montage where you were getting ready.
I'm gonna kill you, girl.
Much, yeah.
And then you died immediatly. And
I failed.
The vision of
baby. Arizona, baby. In water.
I actually got 2.
Water. That's a weird ass dream. The last stream I had, oh nice, bro's prepared. The last stream I had was kind of like, I think I told you guys a couple weeks ago. It was nothing crazy. I feel like I was like flashback to like late 70s or early 80s, and I ended up being at a Blondie concert. So I saw like Debbie Harry.
Oh, you didn't tell me about this.
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
This was a wet dream.
Yeah, that said it was my wet dream. I just saw Debbie Harry and she came up to me. That's all I remember. I saw like Blondie play, Debbie Harry singing, and then I just remember seeing her. The show is done, and she's walking up to me. I'm like, the fucking dream ends, and I'm like, no. So,
you woke up and you went. Oh, we're gonna be climbing up on aisle 4.
Up on aisle 4.
Yeah.
Stupid Britain.
I'm gonna clean up and down under, if you know what I'm saying.
Clean up in my undies. Hello, everybody. Yeah. Welcome to the ATG Podcast. My name is Tyler, also known as Monica Side. I'm with a man whose name starts with a B.
Braden or Renzolian.
The man whose name starts with an A.
Aiden. Or Kierman.
Or Led Zeppelin.
Yes. Or Zeppelin Zeppelin I don't know, I was gonna
Tried really hard. You tried really hard.
Alright, that's all I can do for today. Thanks guys.
Thanks for
Thank you.
joining. Roll credits.
We got a pretty brief episode today, which is good. We are going to be talking about Thunderbolts, but it's going to be a little weird because we haven't, as of this moment, all seen it. These two have. I have not. So I'm going to see it after we record. They're going to continue to talk about it. And then tomorrow we're going to record an extra bit of me and Brayden talking about it. Did we get any pickups?
Yeah. I got the one 3. I was talking to you guys. Got 3. I have one I can show and then one I can mention because it's in the other room.
It's too cool.
Sneaky.
What's that?
Suspicious. Okay.
Oh, it's not. No, I already told you guys what it is.
You got anything, Bray?
Nope.
All right. What you got, A?
All right, so I'll say first things first. I got Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PS5. Just came out recently on PS5. It's part of the whole reason I got the console, pretty much, aside from to play Spider-Man 2. I'm only like an hour or 2 into it. I'm loving it so far. I can see where some people would think it's kind of boring because it's a lot of like puzzle solving and exploring. I absolutely love it. I love how the game's laid out, and I really love how the story is. It's set right between of Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade, so 1937. And the references are just out of all over the place in the best way possible. So maybe I'll give like a follow-up review once I finish the game, but I'm extremely excited to own it. So yeah, been wanting to play for ever since it came out in December, but the game's been in development for some time, so I was just very happy it came out with a good release. So yeah,
we got lucky that they decided to be gracious enough to release it on PlayStation.
Yeah, well, I was worried about that because I'm like, well, how else am I gonna play it? But I didn't want to get an Xbox just to do it. But man, I could try PC, but I don't have a proper PC for that. But yeah, I'm excited to play more of it. I may play more of it tonight, but it hasn't really affected. Like my biggest gripe against the game was that it's in first person, but it really does pull you in where you feel like you're Indiana Jones. It sounds stupid if I like an IGN review, but when you're having to go around, go through your bag of kind of items and kind of like connect pieces together or notes that you've already gathered from exploring around, like right now I'm in Italy in the games. It's like the first half. It's very like in what way it can be historically accurate to the time and what's going on, and also what was popular. Like they don't have like American music, so one of Indy's friends, Antonio, brought like a record of like jazz, I think it was, or like upbeat music, and he's just playing around with it. But yeah, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I'll do some follow up on when I play more of it. And then today, I got this. It's probably one of the worst figures I have, but I got it for representation's sake. The Sentry, he is
S-Man.
Yeah, S-Man. He's stupid as shit. All right. I just want to get him because I saw Thunderbolts last night, which we'll get into later. I was like thinking, I kind of want to get the figure of him, even though it's not that great. I just want to get something. I know they just put out the Marvel Legends 2-pack. I might get that. I might not, because I feel like if I get one 2-pack, I get like the whole team. That's just how I run. But I don't know. We'll see. But for now, just not great at all. Gummy joints. Looks very frumpy. Proportions are all out of whack. Cape sucks. This head sculpt sucks. This head sculpt with the void sucks. Like, what the fuck does he have ears? So, I mean, it looks funny as shit, but it's not really impressive.
I think the idea is like I think the idea is like it's just the front of his face that's burning off, so they're like, supposed to be human ears. But it doesn't. I'm pretty sure they're painted the same color, so it doesn't matter.
Cringe, though.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's you're probably right, Brayden. It
doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
It looks like weird. It looks like black shit is like oozing out of his.
He's got black goo coming out of his ears.
Yeah,
he's got 11.
Yeah, he does.
Out of his ears. He's like, oh.
It's not like it's a cool sculpt, but the paint is just.
You are like Papa.
You lie.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got.
So. I've been in a Star Wars mood of late. I got some figgies with Andor, and I saw Revenge of the Sith re-release last weekend. I got TIE Advanced Pilot Cassian.
Ty.
Yeah, me. He pilots me. He goes in my little brain and he pulls my hair like Ratatouille. So no thigh swivels. Fuck that. Hate that shit. I'm gonna replace his legs, and but otherwise, I mean, this design's so fucking cool, man. I love this design. It's so dope. I like the Cassian head as well. I think his hair needs to be painted darker, but I'll use that head if I ever get a Cassian body at some point. But yeah, I love this a lot. I also got a Mandalorian, a Bo-Katan repaint for cheap. She was like $13 on Walmart. So she's very good. Bo is a great figure, so great addition. And then I got Commander Cody from the new Revenge of the Sith cardback Walmart exclusive line. And he is awesome. He's on the new 3.0 body, so he's got bicep swivels and the floating knee pads and stuff. So yeah, he's really great. The only problem I would have is that his head isn't Cody; it's just a clone. He doesn't have like scars.
Yeah,
which is lame, but otherwise, gorgeous figure. Very happy. So that's it for that. And
fast forward
pickups later because. I'm gonna go shopping afterwards, so we'll see if we get anything fun. All right. Jesus. To start with, we got some Yellow Park news.
Oh, do we?
What is the?
Oh, dude.
It sounds like Ty when you're talking about Marvel Rivals. Oh, yeah. Do we?
I had a screenshot. Wait, I had a screenshot of his face while we were talking about it the other day, and I just want to point this out because it was really funny.
You love stupid shit clip. That's all you love stupid shit.
It's true. It's true. Anyways, talk about your goddamn YOLO parks.
All right. Well, in Singapore, Bumblebee, Starscream, and Tarn have all been found, so they're out. Meanwhile, on the YOLO Park shop, they've put up Bumblebee for pre-order. Bastards. Well, if the Singaporeans can have them, why can't we? Huh? What the fuck? But I'm excited. Bumblebee looks great, and Tarn's not up for pre-order yet, which pisses me off. What the fuck? But that's pretty much it. It's very quick, very brief.
Bumblebee looks good.
He does.
Yeah. Oh, Tarn looks fucking sick.
Oh, there's a Bumblebee. There's a Bumblebee and Optimus 2-pack. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I think it's probably overseas exclusive.
Exclusive? I see.
I'm gonna get Optimus and Megatron. Absolutely. I'm just waiting for
about damn
the pull trigger. Yeah.
Which ones are you gonna get though? You gonna get the more expensive die-cast ones with the LEDs or the cheaper all plastic ones?
I think the die-cast with the lights.
Here it is.
Yeah. There's
the picture of Ty when we started talking about Marvel Rivals. I've got a big happy smile on my face, and Ty looks like he wants to fucking kill me. And Thatch is like on his phone. He didn't care.
He does not give a fuck.
That's the embodiment of our dynamic.
That's a way to read the room there. So.
I was gonna zoom in on your face during the episode, but oh well.
Oh well. Well, you're just lazy. That's all. Anyway,
no, I did a lot of.
Hey, Luffy, Gear 5 Luffy, Gear 5 Luffy.
Oh, it's that time of day already? Oh, no, I have Lenny thoughts. I have half an hour.
I have Lenny thoughts.
I have Lenny. So earlier this week, Bumbo-Dubba-Dum, if I can find him, there he is. Your old devils at Instamashi were like, we talked about this last time. We said they're going to do a new figure. Is it accessory parts or is it Gift 5 version 2?
Mm-hmm.
And Ty was like, it's probably the accessory pack. He was wrong. He was wrong.
I
Yep.
was.
It's a brand new figure, kind of. It's actually a good bit of reuse, which makes sense. You know, it's not a different appearance for the most part. There are, in terms of new parts, there is the new alternate hairpiece with the goggles. There's the new like smiling face with the tongue out, and new hands for the goggles to like have his fingers on them. And then obviously we got some new hockey effects. Yippee! We get to finally see those, which is cool. Unfortunately, so here's the real kicker about this though, right? You would want to use these for the other Luffys. Thing is, you really can't. Maybe the legs, but the arms aren't swappable between the post time skip Luffy. Here's the thing: you could probably swap these parts with the pre-time skip Luffy. Only problem is pre-time skip Luffy doesn't use these powers, so that's the lame thing.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do a brand new post-time skip Luffy that is compatible with these pieces.
But he's never been sleeveless post-time skip, has he?
Probably not. Nope. So that also wouldn't work. You've got a good point. And he's also got a goofy-ass running Roadrunner-ass.
Well, if his fists are removable, maybe you could at least use the fists on your post-time skip Luffy.
Yeah, but his forearms are still exposed, so it wouldn't look right.
I mean, you know, it's the best you're gonna get.
Depends on the pose.
I love the saggy face with the tongue sticking out.
Oh yeah, I love that too. I'm sad that's not obviously that has to be a whole other head because of the earpiece that he has on.
Yeah.
Which is a little sad. I wish I could give that to any version, and just have him have that disgusting like rotting face. That's him power drained. So he went all crazy, he went all happy, but then he lost all of his power. This is a good release. I like it. I mean, I expected this. They didn't learn their lesson. They didn't give us alternate like regular articulated limbs, which is unfortunate. Because these limbs are known to be a bit problematic. So we'll see how they turn it. Mine is still fine. I haven't broken my original yet.
Are they like a bendy wire?
It is bendy wire, but they're very tight. It's super tight bendy wire. It's like, it's scary. It's a little scary. And it's with how expensive these figures are. It's not like you can it's not like you buy it and then you're like, it's fine, I'll just replace it. You know, this figure's he's pretty penny. I have two. I have an extra one, so just in case that one ever breaks, I'm like ready for it. But yeah, it is. No, like at the end of the day, I am happy this exists. It makes sense that we're getting it right now, and I'm happy with it. But I need Usopp and Sanji. Come on, you guys. Let's get going on that.
Yeah,
don't make me wait.
Before that, so who knows?
He hasn't even gone up for pre-order yet. This guy has apparently.
Yeah. Also,
so weird.
Blackbeard, he's still got to come in.
Blackbeard ships this month or next month. No, yeah, next month in Japan. So that's gonna be a hit on the old Wallaroo.
It's gonna be a hit on the old Ballaroos.
No, I don't have balls after buying that shit.
It's true. It's fair. You had to sell them.
I can't afford both balls with a figure of that magnitude.
We got Lego stuff. A bunch of Lego reveals, huh? For the summer.
Got a tall on Lego. Yeah.
Man. Should we get the elephant out of the room?
Well, okay, this is the one that
get that elephant out of here.
You and Thatch were obviously super excited. Like Thatch was fucking screaming when he sent me so many photos and he's like, oh.
He gooned. He actually gooned.
So
he did.
Let me send these photos real quick. So I'm gonna be talking about these three sets that. So we just got. It's the time of the year where we get official photos for the upcoming summer wave of Lego sets, and it's been really exciting for Marvel superheroes, but especially with Spider-Man, because the rumors that were coming out several months back that we talked about the pod were incredibly exciting, and I think they've lived up to those expectations because we finally got official photos of 3 different sets. Our first one is the Peter Parker's apartment. So you get Spider-Man, a new Hobgoblin, classic comic book one, Anti-Venom we got in a mech set beginning of this year, and then Mary Jane. That's awesome. It's so cool. So I just want to say this whole wave, right, is probably one of the best Spider-Man waves we've gone since 2016. So nearly 10 years. Spider-Man has not had a steady, fantastic wave like this in a long ass time, especially with the variety of villains and characters that we're getting. We're getting finally having Spider-Man supporting casts represented in a set that we don't just see once every couple years, or for instance, the Bugle was once in a while. So that's incredibly exciting. So this is more like a comic based sort of, not based off anything in particular, but man, that Hobgoblin figure, because the last time we got him was in the 2016 set with Ghost Rider and Spider-Man team up. I had that set. Thatch has my original Hobgoblin, so now I'm happy I can get a brand new one, and this guy kicks ass. Dude, he looks so goddamn good. The Pumpkin Bomb's about the same with the new printing on him. Anti-Venom's about the same. It's weird that Spidey doesn't have any dual molded legs in the 2 comic-based sets. It's find strange because they're on the larger.
We're talking about how his arm is probably different too. It's not the same. It's it's very slightly subtly different.
Yeah, they tell in that main shot of the apartment where he has his right arm out. But I'm glad they still kept this classic Spidey because I love the colors on him and how he's looked. They've kept the red torso, so the apartment. What's that?
MJ's a gamer.
Yeah, so MJ's a gamer. We got MJ in the set who mostly has reuse of parts, but it's still cool because I think the last time we got a proper Mary Jane figure was Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Green Goblin helicopter set, where she had exclusive torso of the Spidey heart. If I'm not mistaken, wrong for comic base MJ. So long time coming with that, but she has an old face print. The torso might be new, but it looks a little bit inspired by the Insomniac version, slightly just because of the jacket. The apartment is actually way different than I imagined. I thought it was only gonna be the top half of it. They stack on top of the deli set we got from the Spider-Verse one back in earlier this year, but the whole theme that I'm catching from the 2 comic-based sets is that you can connect them all together and make a mini city, and that is absolutely incredible. We've ever really seen that with any of the superhero sets we've gotten between Marvel and DC in quite some time. I think even at all. Maybe with some of the old Batman stuff you can say. I don't really have any photos of the interior of Peter's apartment, but I know it has a little kitchen. So there's definitely some references on that. There's a reference to the Daily Bugle on the side of the building with J. Jonah on there. It looks great. I'm incredibly excited for that set. It's so bizarre we're getting a full dedicated Peter Parker's apartment. That's just really exciting to me. And it's a full scale one. It's not it's smushed down or cut in half. I'm really happy about that. And we get this weird spider drone. I don't know why it comes in the set, but it's just there. So that's our first set. And I'm just going to talk about this next because this is probably one of my most anticipated sets of the year. Is the Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man versus Doc Ock Boy train scene. Holy fucking shit. Can we just take a moment to acknowledge the beauty of seeing Tobey's fucking glorious self in that corner crawling with the Spider-Man 2 logo above him? That is amazing. Spectacular, all the above, fantastic.
Say that again.
All right. And the box looks beautiful. It looks like it's just straight ripping out of Spider-Man 2. It's so weird because I'm still trying to wrap my head around this, seeing this set because it's been on my mind the past several months, and they nailed it. So Tobey it's very similar to the one we got in No Way Home, and the No Way Home one is more akin to the Raimi trilogy in terms of its web design and look. I love it. It's the perfect figure they made of him. I still love the original, but they actually were accurate by having the little bit of damage he has to his torso, in 2 scuffs. No blood, but I'm all cool with that. It's a great, just subtle detail that I'm so glad they included. And a new unmasked head for Toby that's not a goddamn Han Solo face. I hate that one that came in the No Way Home set. But Toby looks great. We updated Doc Ock with these new arms. Look awesome. They totally stole it from Marcus and other people that made like these Alfred Molina Doc Ock figures. I wish they kind of kept the old arms from the past, but it's time to move on. I like these better, but I'm glad that No Way Home did the original ones. Doc Ock, new torso. It's close to being accurate because he still had a green jacket in that movie. It was just a very dark green. So, but they gave him all brown here. But they updated the hair a little bit. I don't know if I like that as much as the previous one, but the face print is the same. And we get a fully dedicated J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson. Absolutely awesome. I'm so thrilled by that. He looks great. And we get Ant-Man as well, who I don't think has any new parts. I know Jonah uses the same torso as Professor X does. But having those two characters still represented as set, like in civilian ones, we haven't gotten Jonah since the Daily Bugle set from 2021. So it's really great to have a J.K. Simmons version in a smaller set. This set's going to be around like $50, and that's the same for the apartment. The train car looks great. I cannot wait to recreate shots of them fighting on top of that train and then put civilians inside of it, and then probably buying a bunch of the train cars so that I can just have like a whole line. The possibilities are really endless with this. I can't wait to see what people make up of like having buildings, because he comes with the web accessories to like grab onto debris in the buildings, and it rips off when it doesn't hold for him like in the movie. The only thing I wish I came with is these tracks. I think just having one track below it, and then maybe you can have like where he reaches the end, almost dips off the top. Maybe they could have done something with that, but I'm fine with it either way. It's just a perfect Spider-Man set. I'm just absolutely thrilled. I want more Raimi trilogy sets. I would love if they went back to Spider-Man 1. I know they've been doing Spider-Man 2 stuff. I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I would love if they did a final battle with Green Goblin on the bridge in the first movie. I think that would be great, and that's another recreation they can make based off the 2002 set. So, yeah, absolutely hyped set. And then our third and final set we have here is something long in the making. Should have happened years ago, but we finally got it now. It's fully dedicated, and it's funny because it's called Spider-Man versus Oscorp. So I guess he's taking on the whole building. So he's putting on strike. But this set definitely surprised me the most of what was included, because we get 9 minifigures. So we get Spider-Man, we get Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, so you don't have to buy that shitty Venom truck set if you want to get Spider-Woman. Or no, Julia Carpenter, not Jessica Drew. I'm thinking,
only 8 minifigures in.
Is it 8?
Yep.
Shit, I thought it was 9. Yeah, you're right. It is 8. So we get Miles Morales, same one as we got with the hoodie up. But we get Eddie fucking Brock with the little Venom over his shoulder. And there's a bunch of references to the Venom Tom Hardy trilogy in this set. So bizarre. So weird. You know what? I'll take it. This wave is not plagued by like Venom or Carnage, like Venomized shit. I'm done with that. I've been done with that. Time to move on. But if we get a Eddie Brock figure like we have here, completely fine with it. So we get Spider-Gwen, and we finally have a Norman Osborn figure. He's definitely more based on, kind of looks like the Insomniac games a little bit, because he doesn't have the waves. I really wanted the waves. Just because they did there's a print that references Osborn for Mayor in the Daily Bugle set, and he's got those waves, but that can be easily customized. But still, a fully dedicated Norman Osborn figure that we haven't had since, 2002 from Lego. That is insane. Absolutely awesome. And we finally, after nearly 10 years as well, just like Hobgoblin, Kraven is making a brand new return. He's getting a new torso printing. He looks great, even though he tipped Doctor Strange's face. I'm like, why the fuck they give him that? That's all right. I'm okay with it. Kraven's still there. And then we got this weird amalgamation of a Green Goblin design that's more high-tech based, and I think it's heavily influenced, aside from the mask, like with the open mouth, heavily influenced by the Ultimate Comics version of recent. That's really exciting because I love that design. I'm just really surprised that they went with that decision and not just like a more classic Goblin look that they've always included in these sets, especially in recent years. But you know what? I'm all for it. That's cool, interesting. I would love to see if the alternate, like if there's got to be like a different face printing on the other side, and maybe it has the closed mouth because that's what I would like. But it's funny because that design in the comics is used by Harry Osborn and not Norman Osborn.
Yeah, well, Norman is in the set, so it might be Harry.
Oh, it might be. It might be. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. The set looks great. It's like a mini full-blown scene. So I was just expecting to get Oscorp. I think I was saying that before. But we got a little, I think it's called Marvelous Jewelry store right next to it. And then we have a mini apartment that belongs to Eddie, I believe. And then we got like the small, similar trash can they include in the Marvel modular sets. So that's a great piece because that can just kind of, you have all these modulars for Marvel, you can kind of coincide and have them all together and make like a city. I would have loved to have a D2C Oscorp, but this is just like a throwback in terms of a classic play set. I think it looks great. Oscorp looks great. I love the Green Goblin override print. That looks funny. There's details in the building that I didn't really have a good look at yet, but I know that there's a station for where he has all his like pumpkin bombs and gliders and weapons. I know there's a laboratory as well, and I think there's a changing station, which is like a throwback of where you have like Batman in the Batcave. You can flip him around. He turns from Bruce Wayne to Batman. They have that here, but it looks like Oscorp. I love that they it's like amalgamation of several different designs from over the years of what we've seen in film and games and comics. So I'm incredibly happy with how this looks. Yeah, it's just so wild of and Miles gets a little bike, but it's like they got to throw that little dud in of what you're not going to use. But I'm so excited to have all these primarily like the apartment and this set together, but also if I want to get the Miles Morales deli set, put that together and have like this full scene with like my bugle in a sanctum, and if anyone else has like Avengers Tower, I also have the X Mansion, but that's like more upstate New York. But wow, man, I'm absolutely blown away by this wave just by 3 sets alone. The price is a little bit jank because I think the Oscorp Tower is like $130 and it only has 808 pieces. It's rough. It is entirely rough. If it was $100, cool. I'm not going to get that Oscorp immediately. I will tell you I'm getting that Spider-Man 2 set on day one. I don't care. It's $50. I'm getting it. No question in that. But still, great wave. I hope this is not the last that we can see of this quality when it comes to Spider-Man sets. I just wanted to maintain this so going forward. Give us more characters that we haven't seen in a while, but also give us new characters that we haven't seen at all in figure form. Electro, Lizard, like an actual official Rhino, Shocker. I mean, I can go on. So let's keep going with that, Lego. You did great here. I'm very happy, but keep the ball rolling. All right. I don't think I'm missing anything else, but yeah, there's a lot to say. Hopefully, and Braden just sent. It's so cool that comparing the original 2004 Spider-Man 2 set with the train scene, you also get J. Jonah in that set as well. So it's kind of like funny to just like, we'll throw him in again. It's funny because I look back on those Spider-Man 2 sets where there's a lot of nostalgia, but they're not all that, they don't hold up all that well. But just seeing a fully dedicated Spider-Man 2 set, I never would have thought we'd gotten this year. Maybe last year when the film had like its 20th anniversary, but I'm not complaining. All right, well, that's enough out of my mouth. I just thanks guys for listening.
All right.
You.
It's weird to me that the Toby figure doesn't have any arm printing.
Yeah, that's the thing they did with Andrew. This would have been a good opportunity for it, but I'm okay with it because I feel like it carries the essence of the original Toby figure in that way. But you would think for modern printing, because Tom's figures basically they all have arm printing, essentially.
Yeah, I feel like they should start doing the dual molded where it's the lower half is red and then arm printing up on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have to cheap out every set. There's always one little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where like the other Spider-Man figures only have the single molded legs.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very strange. I don't know how. I will say also the other Marvel sets that aren't Spider-Man are like really lame. Like they're pretty bad.
We got an Iron Man 2 set, which is so weird to think about because I'm so used to when Mega Bloks had license. Yeah,
that one looks really weird.
The drones.
There's
an Endgame. The
Yeah.
Endgame set looks weird as hell. That's lame.
Yeah, they wanted to make one of those big gorilla guys, but it gave him like a gear mouth. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Yeah,
What?
I'll show you. I'll take some photos because it looks. Like, they keep doing like Final Battle Endgame sets, which is cool, but they always just look.
Yeah, they
so
keep
weird.
Doing a fucking giant man every time, and he's always different.
Yeah, it's so weird,
sets,
man.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's not what that guy looked like in the movie.
I don't even remember that guy being in the movie, honestly.
He drops down. I think.
Oh, we got
not Giant Man.
Why doesn't Thor have Jonathan with him?
Jonathan?
I mean, the Iron Patriot figure looks awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love that shitty portal, like made for like babies.
Yeah, what?
Come out of. It's so small.
It is.
It's so silly. They're doing silly things with everything else.
It is a good Chitauri army builder pack, though.
Yeah, it's
you
a good minifig pack.
Yeah.
If you want Chitauri, yep, there you go. Good lord.
55
also a new.
And we got that
new
Quinjet.
Quinjet too.
Yeah. So we got a new
Quinjet
Quicksilver as well. Looks alright. And then we got like Ultron and his like final look what he had in that movie.
I don't think that Quinjet looks, or I don't think that Quicksilver looks better than the one they just did, though. That's the issue.
Anyway, shut up about this. Talk about the other Legos you want to talk about.
Well, we were just going through the list.
We can't go through the whole.
Oh, we had a Batman Forever set. I never thought I would say that, but we got a Batman Forever set.
Yeah,
why are you barking?
He doesn't own his nipples though.
That's what I said too. Everyone says different suit, but I don't care. If you're making a Batman Forever, you gotta give him his nipples.
The wings on the bottom of the suit are covering it up. So.
Ugh. They're taking away our nipples.
They're censoring our nipples.
Free the nipple. God damn it.
Just want to make a mention about the 2 Star Wars sets real quick as well.
Yeah. I was gonna mention that too.
Yeah, the Plo Koon Jedi microfighter.
I don't care about that. Go ahead.
Plo Koon is one of my favorite Jedi, and I can't believe they're making a whole little mini microfighter set dedicated to him. But it looks incredible. I cannot wait to get that. I'm getting that when he comes out in June immediately.
Anyways, more importantly, we've got fucking Robo Chatamus here, who is fucking articulated ass
battle droid with the S. Was it stab? Is that what they call it? S2
Yeah. This
what a
takes
set,
me back, man.
What a set, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think he's big. He's probably gonna be bigger than a lot of those figures. This set's like really expensive too. I think it's like $130.
There's $130, and it has 1,088 pieces. But wow, what an incredible build and look!
He moves.
He moves. He can get off of that and walk around.
He can do this. He can do. He's got knees.
It reminds me of like the sets, the Technic sets we were getting in the early 2000s with a mix of also the buildable figures.
I don't think his head is going to move at all, though, to be fair. I think his head will be very stationary. Maybe.
I wonder if you can actually. Can you? Oh no.
I doubt you can fold him up.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, that would have been sick. That would have been sick.
That would be so impossible for them to do.
I would love to see if they make a super battle droid.
Oh my god!
Please, and then. If you can make it work and not make it look be clone trooper. Phase 1.
This if they're gonna do this,
they
then
can swap
do
our
it.
helmet with a phase 2.
Go all the way. They've been doing things like this where they do like buildable figures, but they're not like they did like a K2SO recently, but he's not articulated at all. He's just like a
but if they're doing this, this is the best Star Wars set I've seen this year. So.
I love him. He's a funny little guy. You can take off his gun.
I love him.
Anyway,
he's not a funny little guy. He's a funny giant guy.
He's a big man. Master can punch him in the dick and run away.
I don't think he'd care. I feel like
punch him in the dick.
He'd just chase after Tahu and gun him down.
Yeah, but Tahu can steal his ride. Tahu's like, get off of this, bitch.
It just makes me miss the CCBS figures.
Of course. But we're living in a world where they're dead forever, so we have to make the best of what we can get and spend $1,000 more dollars. I will. Oh,
I do love it.
I will.
It looks like a fantastic set.
It's so good. There's more. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
There is some Lego Sonic sets. Now, this is kind of a filler wave, honestly, but that's okay. There's no new minifigures. Except maybe a Tails variant? Question mark? I don't remember if they've done
like a winky face, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the variant. So we've got the Knuckles versus Dr. Eggman Egg Crusher mech, which I had to double take because I actually thought that this was the Egg Dragoon for a second. It is not. It is very much not that. I only said that because of the color scheme and because it has the other one has a gun and then it has like a long drill. That's not what this is. Maybe it's partially inspired. I don't actually know if this is a thing from the games. I have no idea. I mean, hey, this is simple. I like this set because it is so like you'd think it would be overkill on Eggman's part, but Knuckles has all the fucking tools in his disposal to deal with this. He's got a board with his fist on it that he's about to ram into this thing, and then he's got a boulder that he can lob at him. So he's ready.
Oh, I didn't see the command truck. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's because it's on the same post. He didn't share it separately, so I missed it the first time too. And then I was scrolling. I was like, oh my god, there's another. Yeah, so Knuckles gets to fight Epic Eggman. It's so cool.
Dude, great mech. That's awesome.
He's got knees.
He's got knees!
Yeah.
He's got knees! Whenever I see knees on something like this.
No elbows,
it's just fun. No elbows. That is cringe as hell. Actually, those arms are going to move horribly now that I look at them, but that's fine. And then we've got the Team Sonic command truck, and this is obviously again just kind of something that they made up. But you know what? I really like it. It's kind of wholesome. You've got Metal Sonic's back in a set, which is great. Sonic, Tails, you get some Badniks, and then there's some fun detail. Like the inside of the truck looks really well done. I like the bumper, or not the bumper sticker, the license plate that says the 1991 on it. That's cute. They're playing video games, and they have like a Pong table or whatever up there. Not Pong, whatever it is. They got speakers. I think this is great.
Sonic's a DJ.
He is a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I really like these sets. I mean, they're fun. They're cute. I don't know if I'll get them because I don't need any of these guys. But it's like a fun, cute little filler wave. I'm cool with it. So yeah, it's neat. I like the purple caterpillar guy. I think that's my favorite.
It's a cool build.
Cute little guy. Anyways.
Cool. Yeah. I hope they make more Sonic characters.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Where the fuck is Silver? Huh?
Yeah,
it's a filler wave. It's a filler wave.
Will they do Silver? Do you think they'll do Silver?
They gotta.
So?
They gotta.
What other characters are you guys looking for?
If they do Silver, you gotta do Mephiles in the same set. And Blaze.
Dude.
Blaze.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude. Silver.
Dude.
And that you can do it so easy, too, because you could do the Shadow Recolor version of him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, so... Yeah, it's right there. Well, look, man. That's what most things, right? I say about like Spider-Man villains, they don't ever do it. It's like, it's right there. You can just, but they won't do it.
Yeah.
They don't
they've made more progress with Sonic than they have with Spider-Man.
Oh, my... Yeah, I mean, so...
I mean, how many characters do we have? Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Eggman, Shadow, Rouge, Amy. Did I say Amy? Oh.
I don't think you did.
Metal Sonic. It's a lot of characters. That's not what he does. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that.
In my canon.
No, he doesn't. Your canon's not canon. Your canon's fake. Your canon's fake. You are a fake friend.
Anyway.
Hey, guess what? I hate you. I hate
Your canon
you.
is fake.
Yeah.
I hate you.
All right, shut up. Speaking of, I hate you. We got some Black Series reels.
Adventure time. Come on, grab your
What?
friend.
Shut the fuck up, nerd.
Come on, grab to the bridge.
There was a Star Wars Black Series stream today, and we got some reveals. There's only one new figure that was revealed.
Oh.
And then the rest are re-releases. Or, well, I guess one is newish, but... we got the clone Lieutenant Gale.
Gal?
It's
Gale?
one of the Star Corps troopers who guns down the next figure,
Gale.
Ayla Secura.
Oh.
Ayla Secura.
Yeah, guns her down in cold blood.
I know Lay's excited for this figure. He's like,
Yeah, obviously he is.
I already have the original, so I don't need this. But I do like the swooshy lightsaber effect.
They CG'd the pins again.
They did. They did Photoshop out the pins. Stupid motherfuckers.
At least, yeah, at least she still has the thigh swivel. They didn't take that away.
She does. She has double jointed knees and a thigh swivel. Her legs work really well. And she has a boot swivel.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
we'll get ready for it to be the last thing you ever see.
And then we got Magna Guard re-release, which is cool, I guess. I haven't heard good things about that figure, so whatever.
Most of the old droids aren't very good, as far as I hear.
Yeah. We're getting a 2-pack of Shore Trooper and Death Trooper, in which they also photoshopped out the pins.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, I gotta love it. And then the other new figure is a Sand Trooper on the new body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I say
look
new
at him.
body.
He's
It's
got
2020. It's 5 years old, but
isn't that weird? But new for Black Series, anyways.
the good body.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna get it because he's doity. My favorite's probably the clone.
The clone?
Yeah.
Galileo.
Galileo.
Where are we at? We were talking about Black Series and how much it's...
Yeah. Did you have any thoughts on these figgies?
Not entirely. I think the new clone figure is cool. The lieutenant, just like that division. Why does his face look all weird? All right, that's just normal clone face. Okay.
Why he looks like that? Fucking freak.
The Magna Droid, I want to love that, but I know that figure sucks. Magna Guard,
yeah.
Dude, sucks. I know Lay's excited for the Sand Trooper. Looks kind of cool, but yeah, I don't really care about any of these. I'm not getting any of these.
Yeah. I don't like dirty stormtroopers. I don't like them. I don't want the Magna Guard. I already have Ayla. I don't need that 2-pack.
Yeah, you're gonna get that 2-pack.
Nah, I don't need it.
You say that. You say that now.
I already have. And then I do want the clone. So
okay. Yeah, the clone is cool. It's cool.
Yeah, he can
for a minute, I was like,
Ayla.
don't tell me. Yeah, I was just about to say, don't tell me they're making a deluxe figure, and I'm like, okay, good, we're good. It almost looked like it by the packaging. I'm like, that's.
Yeah, right. But all right. Well, I guess I'll talk about Andor. What are you doing, bro?
By the eye of Agamotto!
I did watch.
Fuck you, bro.
Fuck a Yoda. Fuck a Yoda.
Fuck Yoda. Why would you do that? He's a frog.
Because he fucking steals your entire.
Matters not the size.
Jesus, Cranky. Are we gonna talk about Andor?
Yeah. So.
And snore.
Shut the fuck up.
No, fuck off.
Yeah.
You didn't even watch it,
Shit.
I watched the first 2 episodes.
You gave up. I think you said you watched the first 10 minutes of episode 1.
No, that's not what I said.
Episode 4. That's what you said.
I haven't had the chance to fully sit down and watch it because I want to absorb Andor, but I can't.
I'll absorb
you. Gotta really pay attention to.
Yeah.
But these 4 episodes, I'm not gonna get super deep into the spoilers because there are some spoilers, but not a ton. But we pick up a year later, after the end of episode 3. And so Cassian and Bix are getting more into the rebellion. They're actually between missions when we find them, and they're I think it's just kind of confirmed that they're married and living together.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
So that's it's not going to end well, because she ain't around in Rogue One, and he makes out with Jyn Erso, so I don't know about that.
Ooh.
But
make it real sad.
yeah, probably, and Bix is not in a good way in these few episodes because she can't sleep still, and she starts taking some drops or some death sticks or something for sleep.
Sticks.
Yeah. But we get this. There's this one scene where in the first episode where they go to a Star Wars market, little grocery store. It's very, very fun because there's all these weird Star Wars products, and it just feels very normal, but also very different.
Yeah,
it's super cool. Very great set design.
Dude, I can tell you, the first 3 episodes, the production design is outstanding. The show and how it's shot, so incredible.
The sets,
dude, especially that one in the first episode with the I want to say it's a TIE Striker, but I don't know if that's accurate.
TIE Advance.
But with TIE Advance, everything when they had the lighting turn on that room, I mean, I don't know, it just completely that whole set piece, incredible,
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the outside of Mon's estate, when she's walking around, you get that wonder where she walks around and she's greeting all these people, and she's getting towards Luthen.
Another amazing shot, man. There's so many nuggets of that throughout. Oh, the farm where Baz and the rest of them are staying, it's so, dude,
just fucking so good. There is a lot more of that still. We get a lot more Cyril. He's sort of a more of a steps into a more focal role in this arc, and he isn't. He's not where you would expect him to be at first. You think he's taken a drastic turn, but then it's sort of revealed that no, he's still Cyril. He's still doing what he's doing. There's a scene with him and Daedra where he gets to meet up with her because it's been a while, and she orders him to turn out the lights, because they're gonna have some fun times. You don't see anything, but he just he's like, oh yeah, we get an hour together, and she's like, turn out the lights. He's like, I can't believe this. Turn out the lights, and he's like, all right, and he turns it off.
I can't believe this. That's oh my god.
It's pretty great. It's so good. We get Tarkin. Or not Tarkin, sorry. We get mentions of Tarkin. We get Krennic appears in person, which was great. I mean, he was in the first arc, but he gets a much bigger role in the 3rd episode of this arc. And it's a very high stakes sort of climax. It's interesting. The last climax, episode 3, was very intense, felt very dangerous. This one is, it's not as overtly dangerous, but it is it's more espionage, high stakes. Luthen actually gets gets jeopardized a little bit. But he's in a position where he could be jeopardized, but they sorted it out.
It's almost setting that up, teasing that almost, but
setting up that he's
gonna get caught.
He's getting a little too. He's got his hands in too many pies.
Right. That's a good way to put it.
Speak.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot. There's so much that happens, but also not that much. Mostly the focus is Gorman, that spider planet, that makes the fashion.
Yeah.
Basically what everyone's eyes are on throughout this arc, and I think it's setting up for the next arc to have some big bombshell tragedies. Like, they talk about the Gorman Massacre when Tarkin landed a ship on peaceful protesters.
Shit.
Yeah, like years back. And so there's probably going to be another massacre that comes up.
Eesh.
But yeah.
I didn't know that about Tarkin, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Cassian and Luthen have some butt heads. They have some issues. It's just great. There's so much good character drama. And
I'm looking forward to checking them out.
It's so tense, and we get Saw Gerrera, and he's fucking loony.
As he should be.
He has this whole speech where he inhales a chemical that is bad for you and burns you from the inside out, and he's like, "Breathe it in. That's freedom. It's my sister. She calls to me." He's fucking nuts.
Fuck. It sounds like Brayden.
Yeah, he's fucking
Brayden
wild. But oh man, it's so good. I don't know. I just can't wait. I can't wait for the next arc. But yeah, I can't really say too much more without getting into like heavy detail. But it's good.
I'll check it out,
so
man. I'll definitely check it out.
You better.
I will. I'll try to get caught up next week. I found out I can do this this century.
Ew, what the fuck?
Wow. Wow.
Oh, perfect timing.
Did she just rip one?
Ew.
Yeah, okay. You heard that, right? Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if she said something, but it sounded like she ripped one.
Nope.
But she was so far away.
Did. She did. That's why I was like, oh my god. Yeah.
That's
How about
crazy.
nasty?
Amplify that audio.
Don't do that.
I'll just
Add
put in that
reverb,
sound
add
effect
reverb.
Aiden put over you.
Yeah, don't amplify my sister's part, bro.
There's some freaks who would love to hear that.
Yeah. That's
But,
weird.
I guess that does it for this part of the pod.
That's all she wrote.
Well, it's all she wrote for me, I guess.
Yeah.
For now.
But
For now.
you boys.
Right.
So, Ty's gone. He left. And now we're going to talk about Thunderbolts, the film. Thunderbolts asterisk. We know what the asterisk stands for. As of right now, Ty does not. So,
Should we delve into spoilers?
Yeah, obviously, full spoiler warning. If you guys aren't, we can't talk about the movie without spoiling it, because that's basically like...
Yeah. This is a hard movie to talk about without spoiling it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like obvious kind of what is going to happen in the movie, but at the same time, it's also kind of like, I don't know, you need to like, it's just better to watch it so that you can actually properly talk about it, because you don't fully know everything. So yeah, obviously spoiler warning. If you guys don't want to hear spoilers, get the F out of here.
Yeah, why would you be watching this if you haven't seen the movie?
Get the heck out of here.
Unless you want to get spoiled, but it won't, we're just going to ruin it for you. Why would you want to take that away from yourself?
Yes. So I went to go see it yesterday at 3 p.m. And then you went to see it later in the afternoon, probably around the same time, actually, as far as I remember.
I went to go see it at 9:50 at night.
Yeah.
So I didn't get out till like 12:30.
That's crazy.
So I went right after work. I didn't know if I was going to make it to go see it, because I wouldn't have been on today if I missed seeing it last night. So I was in a rush to get out of work just to see. I wasn't having the greatest day. I was like, I want to go see this movie because I'm betting it's gonna make my day, and it did. So yeah.
And then Thatch also saw it like before you, but after me. I don't remember. It was all kind of like it was me and him and you.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
But he got out of the movie, and we ended up talking about it. So I have a little bit more concrete thoughts on it right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to form mine still, so maybe I can unravel
Hopefully this
that.
can help. Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't like. I was so tired last night when I got home. I didn't like. I loved. I had so many different thoughts. I love the movie, but I just wasn't. Especially haven't had the time
Best
today. So
place of mind.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Well, it's good. Obviously.
yeah.
I think it's
Very good.
Very
Very.
good. It's obviously better than Captain America.
I can't say it, but
You never saw it.
I've not cared to see it.
I'll tell you first and foremost, it is. I can guarantee you that. It is a movie that it sort of takes the same like angle of like the Suicide Squad approach, where it like wants to tell a story with a bunch of bad people who are like trying to redeem them, but I think it does it in a way where like we've seen Marvel do stuff like this with like Guardians of the Galaxy before, but I think it does it in a way where they really focus on like the emotions and they really play into like, you know, these are people who have problems and we're going to focus on them. And the entire movie is like basically an allegory for like mental health, you know, and like
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not sometimes not the most subtle way of going about it.
No, well,
but,
I think when it comes to Marvel, they got to be pretty like
on the nose,
straightforward about it. Yeah, but it's not so much the point where it kind of takes away the effectiveness of the themes of the movie.
Not at all.
I think it's done quite well throughout this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because it felt like you were just saying, right? Everyone looks at this, it's like, oh, it's Marvel trying to do their take on the Suicide Squad, but it's not.
It's not.
It's under a different circumstance. I think it's a unique angle of forming a team of people that don't want to work together, but it's under different circumstances.
It's really interesting, especially with the context of how this movie ends. It's really interesting looking at this as an Avengers movie. Like how if you were to compare this to the original Avengers, obviously they fight and bicker.
Right. It's so interesting because this movie it's like setting up as an opposite of everything of what an Avengers movie is. But there's so many different seeds throughout where like, oh, they're doing new Avengers here. Like you can just tell throughout the movie, and it's I do like the emphasis on it throughout. You know, that's a great through line. It makes it. I just want to say because I came out of the movie thinking this. I was like, wow, this is I think one of the most well written MCU movies I've seen in some time. Because I feel like when we talk about mentioning about character work, I mean that it does shine through in some Marvel projects, but we haven't seen it quite like this in some time. And I gotta like to say that No Way Home is a well-written movie for Peter Parker's arc, you know. But I think people want to call back to before, like, pre-Endgame time. So there's so many parts of the movie from, like I say, it's incredibly well-written. I think it's got a solid base of a story. The pacing, I don't think it feels rushed, because I'm thinking through, like, events as you know what's really going to happen as soon as the movie kind of kicks off, and it's like, oh, they're going to go through this and that. But just in the order of how it happened and through character interactions, it was still entirely entertaining. And I don't think there is one weak link in this movie. If anyone, it had to be Taskmaster, but they handle that better than I even thought, you know, because it was funny, and I was just kind of like, it's kind of made as a joke, but it's not at the same time, you know? They didn't cheapen as much as I thought they were going to. That was the big thing I took away.
It's pretty cheap. I think the thing is like it kind of feels
what do you do with that character?
Well, that's what it feels. It feels like they took the route of instead of trying to like do something interesting with her, they're just like, fuck it. Nobody likes her. Just kill her.
Well, they give her like an updated design. It looks a bit more like the character. But I feel like she played a purpose in part of Yelena's story a little bit as well by having that kind of like when Ava brings up about just killed her. I don't know.
More with her. Maybe Ava's plot should have been more about her like regret of killing her. I will say I think Ghost might be the weakest link in the entire movie. I I like her. I think she's good, but she gets the least out of everyone. Her and Bucky. I think they get the
Bucky
least.
gets a little bit. He gets a little bit, but not
Bucky,
too much.
I think works for Bucky because we know him. We've known him for this long, so it's kind of okay. Like he's basically like he's not the cameo character, but he's definitely the guy who's there. He shows up. He shows up later in the movie. Like he's not.
I mean, he's trying to be a congressman. That's the main thing they have going on with him.
Yeah.
And they do acknowledge of like Bucky's like, oh yeah, don't look, man. I got my share of problems, but we don't really delve into that because we already know it. That allows us to see into the heads of the other characters.
I do.
Which but I do agree. You made a point before, Braden. Not in this recording, but how it seems like they're running out of ideas of what to do with Bucky. I mean, by the end of this movie, you're doing something with him that I think is interesting. But what were you gonna say?
About Bucky specifically, or before?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, I was just saying, I think a Ghost could have been more interesting. I think just giving her a little extra something to do, because we haven't seen her since like 2018 or something like that. So she's been gone for a hot minute.
I've been curious of like, all right, we know what she's been up to, like working for Val. I was more like curious on the side of how she's still alive because of the quantum particles that Scott went to get. He never came back within 5 years. There's probably some explanation for that. That's just me being nerdy.
That's true. I never did think about that. That was the whole point
of
doing that in the first place.
Yeah, they never established it. So I'm like, does she still need that? Like how she does, or is that something? If she has new technology that's embedded into her suit. For that, they're like technical questions.
I wonder if Hank and Janet figured that out when they came back. I wonder if that was
maybe. Yeah, maybe.
They're not addressed. None of that is addressed. She's literally just a rogue like operative.
Yeah,
like, she's just working for Val. Val being the one to connect everyone. Val is a horrible person. She's awful.
Great. Yeah.
She's a great villain, but oh man.
Yeah.
She's so unlikable. They did give her a little bit in the movie.
They did. Interesting. Like a flashback. Yeah, looking through her memory. Very traumatic.
Didn't make up for anything.
No, I didn't feel any better about like no remorse or not like sympathy for her.
But I will say, whenever Val showed up before, you kind of just don't care. Like you're just like, okay, it's Val. Yeah, cool. You do care. Her being the overall villain in this movie helps because she's like...
You're kind of intrigued. I think I was a bit intrigued by how she's going to snake her way through out of being investigated.
Yes.
I think that was interesting. And then Bucky is on his... Buddy. Bucky's like just trying to find any evidence or some concrete of like how to catch her in the act. So I like that he's utilized, like Bucky's utilizing that way tie everything together.
I like Bucky in this movie, but I do feel like they kind of were like, well, he's been around the block for long. He's in every single phase of the MCU, which is crazy. It's so weird, but he is a long-time character, so they didn't need to put as much work into him, which is fine. But then again, when he shows up and he decides to help, it does feel like he kind of just goes along with everything.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
He's a good person, so at the end of the day, he'll do the right thing. But it is interesting. How quickly he just gives up his position and he's like, "Yep, so we do this."
Well, who else can be a Winter Soldier? But I think the character work in this movie is done tremendously. Yelena and Bob are both excellent. I think that's a common statement on this movie that people are saying that they're both excellent. Rightfully so. That is why I got that shitty figure today.
Well, even if you buy the figure, the suit's not accurate anyways.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
he's got like 2 yellows on his suit. He's got like a mustard.
I know. I was like, that's a weird design.
I liked it more than I thought it was. It was weird, but no, it's kind
I don't hate it.
It's not supposed to look like an ugly, like well, it's not supposed to look ugly, but it's supposed to look like a manufactured superhero suit, which I like.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the Sentry character whatsoever.
He's great in this movie.
But yeah, and
the opening fucking fanfare. Can we talk about that for a second?
Oh yeah, dude. Holy shit! Yes, absolutely. That was great. That was a great way to open it. That was a new
If-
new title. Like, we're seeing more comic panels than that from what I saw.
I'm going to point out, Thatch didn't realize this either. First of all, there was no fanfare in Captain America. They skip over that.
There was
They
none of that.
just show, like, Marvel Studios, and then Captain America, like, it's really lazy. And I don't know why they did that. I guess they were trying to keep the pacing, like, epic and, like, scary. I don't really know what the point of that was. But I will say, the opening fanfare is specifically Sentry panels. It's not all comic book. It's just Sentry stuff.
That's cool.
And I noticed there were comic book panels, and then everything gets scary, and all the shadow comes in.
Yeah.
But, so that's
That's
amazing.
cool.
That was something that, like, I picked up on. I was like, oh, they're doing a Sentry bit. They're doing something cool with him.
I like that. I like a dedicated bit like that.
This is something you point out later. This is really cool. The opening scene with Yelena. First of all, jumping off a building. That's cool.
Actual building that Florence Pugh jumped off of.
Which is
a lot of the effects. I love
scenes.
yes, dude. The hallway fight. Yeah. That felt like a homage to the Iron Man 2 one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that overtop. Yeah, but the lighting and it was incredible. Yeah. I loved how that looked.
All the action was great. We'll talk about it later, but the specific Sentry fight scene is that one shot fight.
Dude.
I was like, we needed something. We haven't seen something like that in a very long time, and so just getting like a Superman
and with those assortment of characters, just thrust into a character like fighting someone like this with the caliber of power he has.
He's just like
he is very like
the knife like shattering and then breaking off is
on his face. The demonstration of he's grabbing them, throwing shit behind him, like he takes up that whole bar.
So cool.
Great sequence. So we're talking about Yelena, right?
Yes.
God, man.
She's so good.
So glad that she's like the main pilot of the movie. The driving force. I'm glad. I think she needed to be too because I love the character. Florence Pugh does a tremendous job playing her. I love in any project that she's in. She's hilarious and awesome in Hawkeye. She was like the best part of the Black Widow movie, outside I think of Red Guardian. But her just like situation where she wants that up front appearance, and where that lies with her. But that I don't know. It's just such a interesting setup, and then how they follow throughout the movie of discovering her own purpose. Just like where it aligns with everyone else, essentially. And man, I want to talk about John as well.
We'll talk about John. I will say, Yelena, she gets so much to do. I also think because she was kind of the jokey one before, and she still makes a lot of jokes, obviously. But she's very clearly going through it in this movie.
Yeah, I was going to say she is down in the dump.
That she has with Red Guardian is heartbreaking.
Oh
my god,
dude! All right, so are you talking about the one towards the end of the movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Brayden, I got teary-eyed watching that. That. Oh man,
so real.
I feel like we all have those kind of conversations in our lives, with a parent or someone that we're close and love, and that was just like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it again because that's why I say about the movie. That's why I say about the movie being incredibly well written because that was one of those scenes,
felt real.
The character interaction and dialogue, because also the humor, it was not cheap. It was not just make a joke out of a character for gags. Because they gave some shit to Red Guardian where he really looks towards the past. That's been something that we've saw previous with Black Widow, but I don't want to go.
He's the most jokey character, but he's also done in a way where you can he's jokey, but he's also insane, so you can make that.
Yeah, and still yearning for the glory days, and you see that being followed through where he's so ecstatic about being a new Avenger, and that's where that first post-credit scene is just hilarious. And
he's the funny. I mean, he's the comedy relief of the movie.
Absolutely. And my favorite one is just him jumping out of that limo and screaming, "Yo!" He looks like just a big goofball in that costume.
So, taking a quick step back, just really quickly, I want to point out the opening scene is really cool because she's in that lab and there's fucking shadow guys on the wall.
I noticed that. I'm like, I noticed in the trailer, but I'm like, she's not noticing what the fuck's going on in the back.
They don't draw attention to it. They don't Thatch didn't notice it at all. He told me he didn't know.
What?
Yep. So that's something that if you didn't pick up on later in the movie, then you're like, oh,
yeah, it's there.
Really cool. It's a really subtle thing. And at first I was like, what is that? Are those other people in the room or like? And then I was like, oh, they're the thing.
Yeah, dude. I picked it up when I was watching from the beginning, and I love that detail. That was such is like I say, they don't really. They don't draw attention.
Be like, what is that? It's a shadow on the wall. Huh?
That it's amazing. Where this is, it's such a blend of like, this feels like an almost old school action movie, but it has a lot of emotion and heart. And at the same time, you play with the visuals that I think more than any other Marvel movie does.
Before like the entire ending sequence, like before the final battle, I was really like, this movie is kind of like not a generic action movie, but kind of like more traditional action movie. That's what I was thinking. And then the ending happened, and I was like, okay, I see what you've got up your
dude.
sleeve.
I don't want to jump the gun yet because we're kind of just like
we're going all over.
We are, but there's just so much to talk about.
Obviously they set up this. Yeah, they set up this sequence where now we've got Elena's like, okay, we'll make you a big star. Val's like, we'll make you a big star. You can go to this place and go do that, and you'll be cool, and that's your last mission. And then everyone's there, and they all trying to kill each other. And it's great. Yeah. And
I think everything that happens, in that building.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's a great scene. Taskmaster dies fucking immediately, which is so funny.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I think, look, they're gonna do Taskmaster again at some point. It's probably gonna be what's his face, Tony Masters or whoever. Probably gonna be a more traditional Taskmaster. I think this was definitely the route of like they chose to take it in a way where it's like, let's be honest, I don't think Taskmaster would have added too much to the team in this case.
Well, that's why I wasn't completely heartbroken of them Xing the character out, and I wasn't as I want to say, like for a better term, disappointed of how they removed her. Because I kind of like, well, not for nothing, but
they didn't care about her, so why should I, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's that. But then we get this vault sequence. Bob pops up out of nowhere. John is fucking hilarious in this movie. I don't know what.
He is. Oh my god, dude. He is such a douchebag. I'm like, this motherfucker, man. I'm like, what is Ty seeing him? I think of that sometimes. I'm like, God damn.
I get it.
I was making reference to this earlier. Bob took the right from my mouth when he's like, you're just an asshole. You're just an asshole. And I love that. That was such a great. And he's just like chuckling about it. He's like, it's funny because you're just an asshole.
He's a douchebag, but I also think he's such a real person. Like he feels.
Yeah, no, he's
not.
I feel like we all kind of know.
Not Steve Rogers. He's not Sam Wilson. He's a very flawed person who has problems, which is what he should be. He's Captain America, but a normal human being who is not, has his problems. Yeah. I won't say normal, but like he's got bad days.
Well, it kind of plays the idea of what if you gave the super soldier serum and the movie kind of acknowledges that's not Steve Rogers, It's about the person you give it to, and obviously John is just not the kind of person that can handle that. I
think in this movie he makes himself like
he justifies. Yeah.
He is I don't even call him U.S. agent because I don't even know if that's his title anymore. I would just call him John Walker. That's
yeah. Well, I think he's probably still by U.S. agent, probably. Yeah.
It's just such a generic name for him. I always forget about that.
I know.
I was agent. Yeah.
Yeah. I got
he looks like in the movie. He goes,
Yeah.
Remember,
that's
what
fucking
did
asshole.
Say? Doesn't Ghost be like? Doesn't Ghost like? Nobody loves you and your family hates you, and he's just like, Jesus.
There's some bits. John's dialogue is so like he's an asshole, right? But there's some shit where he's a little bit like I love the bits of where he's opened his heart a little bit. Yeah. Just like after they escape the vault, and like I couldn't believe what came out of John's mouth when they're walking away. Yes, and they're like, "Oh, I'd probably find it on YouTube," or I'm like, "What?" I love that.
The show ended, and you're like, "No, I see it on TV."
Yeah,
no, it ended a couple years ago.
That's like a conversation like amongst us guys, like talking.
It's that,
like,
and then the hat conversation that they have while they're waiting with Bucky, where he's just like, "It's not a hat, it's a cat." He's like, you like it? And he's like,
but he kept calling it a hat. Yeah.
He's like, you like it? He's like, yeah, I like it.
I love that scene when they're showing off of their their weapons and arsenal.
When they're escaping the fucking elevator, when they have to climb up with their butts pushed together.
Yeah, that was one of the. I love that moment. I love it. It was just like, oh man, everyone was kind of ping pong back and forth, and you got Bob in the mix of it, and John is not like Bob whatsoever. He's like, this guy's fucking stupid.
They're also human beings that don't. Well, Bob has powers, but he doesn't know it yet. But how are they going to escape this situation? They can't just disappear and like walk. Like you can't. They have to figure out. Oh wait, that was probably the most realistic thing I've ever seen in a superhero movie ever. Where they're like, we have to come up with this stupid ass plan that's not going, and then they get to the top and like, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, well, I love when John tries to jump and you're like, no.
Yeah, and he ruins everything. He almost ruins everything.
But yeah, I that was a great scene, and
it's
especially
just something
like,
you don't think about in a superhero movie. You never go,
when do you ever see those guys go through a scenario like that where it's made for as a joke, but it's actually like, well, yeah, how else are they going to get out of there?
John
They're not going to be like, oh, the elevator's going to lift us up.
John does a crazy super jump and then lands on his ass. Like, he can't
it's hilarious.
Sam Wilson, without his wings, would have pulled some shit to get out of there. Some convenience out of his ass.
Yeah,
Anyone else had a device and been like, take me up there. Like, he would have, we've never seen it. That's what they would have done.
That's the fun part of like seeing these characters interact with each other because of their skills.
Because
they're not super powered. No, I mean outside of John's a super soldier. And,
Bucky's got super strength. All these characters they have an ability for the most part, but they're not. They can fight and they can survive, but they're not. They are as close to us as possible, and they're very flawed, like human. These are not the Avengers. They're not. That's the sort of the point I was trying to make earlier, is that when you put these movies, especially with the context of how this movie ends, when you put them together as an Avengers movie, they're great parallels. Where the Avengers are a bunch of assholes at first who hate each other and they fight, and then they get together and it's like the gods have been summoned. They're going to have an epic alien war. These guys don't do that. They get together and they have to talk through their problems and they have to help someone, which is just,
and they're helping someone that
they care about.
Like, yes, they care about, and that's. I just feel like the angle they took of like, let's do a new group of Avengers, but in a different light, and it's like I don't really know how anyone else could have done it like this. That's why I really attribute to the filmmakers, like the director and the writers, because they just. I feel like it was
just vision. They clearly knew what they wanted to
do. I feel like they executed it excellently. So
I think Marvel, especially post, I think, what are we in, Phase 6 now at this point? I don't even know. But whatever.
This is the end of Phase 5, I believe.
This is the end of Phase 5.
Yeah, so we're going. Fantastic Four will be the beginning of Phase 6.
Interesting. Phase 5 ended with an Avengers film. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Phase 4 didn't, but that's okay. Weird. Okay.
Oh, they were one off. Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Phase 3 with Far From Home. But
Well, it counts. I mean, technically it counts.
Yeah. What did Phase 4 end with? Was that
Phase 4?
It was Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it is weird.
Anyways, so yeah, Bob, quickly. Also, I want to take the L quickly on this point. I was so sure that this character was going to be, what's her name? Songbird, Mockingbird, whatever her name is. I was wrong about that.
Wait, you wanted her to be in the movie?
Well, I knew, so that character, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to be Songbird, who's a member of the Thunderbolts, right? Her name is Mel, and I think her name is Melissa or something like that in the comics. and I'm pretty sure she has a bird like pendant on her or something like that. So I think
I noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is like a soft introduction. I think they're being like, well, we have the character. Maybe we'll do something with her 10 years from now. You know, like it's not. It like I could see her being more of a thing in like if they ever decided to do another Thunderbolts movie.
Right. Well, I'm curious of like where Val's. I mean,
right.
I love the way they ended off the movie with Val because you just want to see her get justice, you know. But they got her in a vice now, so I wonder where Mel falls into that. But I want to see their relationship, like between the new Avengers and Val and Mel, still kind of, or maybe just I don't know. I'm curious about that.
We'll definitely have to talk about like where the MCU is going after this because it sets up a lot of questions for the future and I have a lot of fears about it.
That post-credit scene had I have so many questions about it because it's the placement of the time and also the implications of that group being within New York. I'm like, whoa. So, but I do want to encapsulate some other aspects. But so we were talking about everybody, but especially going back to Yelena. Yes. I love the flashbacks we had with her. I think the flashbacks we see practically with almost every character. Ava didn't get one, I don't think.
We only got John and Yelena. That's it.
Yeah.
And I guess Bob too, but
Bob. Yeah,
we got a couple.
Bob. They handled Sentry, I think, in the best way they possibly could, and it still made it effective because it's it doesn't look like a complex character when you look at him in a comic image, but he is just because of the facets he has imbued in him. But I love how they play with it, and I love Bob as a character. Like, I'm rooting for the guy, and then you feel terrible for him at the same time because he just looks like a broken person trying to make something of himself, and that's what he was trying to do. In a way, it's like, all right, we've seen this kind of stuff before where you see a person expose himself to a drug or something just to make themselves better of their lives, and then they turn into something entirely different that can be capable of destroying the entire world. But how they handled Bob's story and then the Void. And this is where I was saying, like, playing with the visuals. I mean, it's so simplistic, and it's like when you talk about it, but man, the execution came out incredibly. Because the Void sometimes just looks like just a demon or something else. They just made Bob like silhouette, a Sentry, all in black
with white eyes.
With white eyes, the glimmer of his eyes.
It's so cool. It
is so cool. And the way that he engulfs the city and turning everything into an abyss, and obviously that idea plays into like how the characters, like how Yelena feels like, you know, she has a void in her, and that's what, you know, that it's brought up. Just that little ties. I love that, man.
It's
that's
the most symbolic, it's the most symbolic like final battle I think I've ever seen in one of these movies because it's so.
Yeah. I feel like there's so much represented there the way that the Void turns everyone into shadows. Just by the outstretch of his hand, and like I said, turning New York over it. I'm just thinking the whole time, I'm like, what the fuck is Kingpin saying about this?
Well, I was going to say, Spider-Man has technically died twice now.
Maybe Peter was hanging out in his apartment, maybe he wasn't swinging around Spider-Man, and he just woke up like from a nap, and like, oh, what the fuck, the city guy.
Think about it like him. He was hanging out, doing whatever. Maybe he was Spider-Man, maybe he was Peter Parker, and then all of a sudden, he sees fucking Aunt May dying again, and he's like, oh, no, I don't want to. He's like, I don't want to see this shit again. And then fucking Wilson Fisk is like, Vanessa, you're turning into a black smear on the ground. Like,
where'd you go? I don't know. That's why I'm like,
you're not going to address this at all in Daredevil season 2.
No. I mean, I'm like looking like, wow, they're pretty much engulfing most of New York. So
again, Frank Castle,
at least the one island,
Frank Castle gets out of prison and he's like, "Oh, I'm a black smear for like 10 seconds."
Yeah,
like, oh,
but then the punishment special, they won't.
Like,
but anyway,
he's like, anyways, moving on. I guess everyone turned to black. It's like,
I am glad that they made a good reference to Brave New World with Ross. I was just thinking about that. I appreciate that little bit of connectivity. This movie, I also can commend it for, is now tied up quite a few loose ends that we've had ever since Black Widow, essentially, with the Valentina post-credit scene, and then some stuff from Falcon Winter Soldier, because of the characters that are in this film. I'm very happy about that, because I seems like Marvel is trying to clean up of, like, all right, these post-credit scenes that we never have talked about in several years for projects, keep doing that, please. Let's just keep that going, because you guys need to get better about that. Because I know, like, I was satisfied by this post-credit scene. We'll get more into it. I wanted to say that at least we know that what we're going to see next is what we're going to see next. You know, I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. I hate doing that, but I just want to say that so we saw the perspective of Earth from this movie, from the new Avengers. I know that next for a Fantastic Four, if we're not going to get like a Doctor Doom post-credit scene or whatever they're going to do, it's going to be probably from their perspective of them leaving their Earth and then traveling to, as they say, 616. But yeah. Yeah, no, I am too. I just, getting back to the Void, they handled that so well, made it visually interesting and unique. I love the sets in this movie and how they made everything, like, just, I feel like I got a good scope of everything going on with the action, especially as the city is just being taken over. But, dude, you know, I when he told me I was going to love this movie, I'm like, what does he mean by that? Ray told me that last night before I was going to see it. And then it clicked when they were playing with certain elements when it goes inside a person's mind. And seeing their memories and kind of dreams, but mostly memories.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I kind of just said that because I was like, you're going to like the movie. I didn't even make that connection until you said that just now. It wasn't like a specific thing, but you know what? Hey, that works.
I thought it was.
That works.
So when I saw that, I was like, holy fucking shit. That is some of my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love scenes
with like first of all, I think this movie is really brave for having a final battle that isn't about, you know, punching the shit out of the big bad guy, you know? Like,
yes.
It's very brave. Like, it's very, like... It starts off like that, and then they're like, well, that's not the way we gotta solve this. That's not how you deal with your problems. You're pushing it down, you're making it worse, you're fighting it.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Yep. And the movie, it's all about coming around to that, you know? So, what do you do when you face the void in yourself straight on?
It's so, like, when you break it down, it's so simple, but it's such a beautiful message that really just it's something we needed. We really Guardians movies were those ones that really held the emotions all together. I feel like those ones were like the peak of, like, you know,
because I think you have a difference between where you have the outcasts, which being the Guardians, you know, I feel like they have to have a place in the universe. But also with these guys and the Thunderbolts being of purpose, you know, and the existence of themselves and accepting themselves in a way.
I really don't think
laws and everything.
I really don't think there's ever been a Marvel movie that has made me feel this, like, level of, like, just, like, personal, like, emotion before. Like, I haven't really done something like that before.
For the most part, I think most times it's just emotion of a character's action or sacrifice that we need, you know.
Not them being real.
Through actual, like, story beat emotions that are being conveyed, I was just like, wow, this is, I mean, like you said, they play it pretty straightforward, but at the same time, so well done. So well done. And I think within, like, I say for most of the movie, outside of, like, Taskmaster, the core cast, there's not, like, a weak link here. And once again, I'll mention what we were saying about the conversation between Alexei and Yelena was so... I got teary-eyed watching that, man, because that sometimes, you know, those kind of talks hit close to home. And that was just a riveting conversation. It's, like I said, once again, so well written. And I don't feel like you once you get to Avengers Tower, everything's just happening, going, and mention again, Sentry fight, awesome. I cannot wait to watch it.
I love how there's that fight that happens in the bottom of the building, and then Val's like,
Oh,
I left the door unlocked. You guys can just come up. Like, like they didn't have to like beat all those guys up.
No, I was hilarious. Like, guys, I just got that page.
Yeah,
I just got that.
wall.
I love that. It's just a full like chaotic and I love the build up. Like, just like, oh, so what's your plan? And it just drives right
it's
to the
all
front.
the action scenes like that. Even the scene with Bucky when he's driving after the cars on the convoy.
Great.
And he punches the ground with the fucking chain and like pulls the truck up. It's so cool.
Boom. So cool.
Oh. It's so neat. Bucky, that's probably the coolest thing. Actually, he does some cool shit in the Sentry fight. I mean, he doesn't do anything to Sentry, but he looks cool.
No, well, we haven't had this good Bucky action.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
It's Civil War. Civil War, really.
Yeah. There's not enough of it in Falcon and Winter Soldier, surprisingly.
No, not entirely. The John Walker fight between him and oh my God, Sam. Yeah, that's a great fight. I enjoy that.
That was good.
The character interaction that show is great.
Yes.
I'm trying to get anything else.
I love Bucky's relationship with I love Bucky's relationship with Walker in this too. It's like they're like old friends, but they hate each other. Like I love when he sees Bucky, he goes Bucky, and then he goes, like he's like, he's like that's, and then the car flips over. It's so funny. It's just
their interaction with like when Bucky's got them all tied up. Like, that's great,
shit, man. Like they know each other. They know each other. Like that's what works for them is that they.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because you're working with two different groups of like people that are familiar with each other, and then Ava's just the outsider of it.
She's the one who doesn't. Oh, Thunderbolts obviously has nothing to do with fucking Thaddeus Ross in this universe.
No. Well, and Thunderbolts is also just like because in the comics they were originally just the new set of heroes, and then they all turn out being villains. But Thaddeus Ross was in it before. I was always thinking like, oh, he's got to be in the movie. Red Hulk's got to be in the movie. And it's so weird, man. Can I just say, I've had an entire 180 on this movie from not giving a single shit about it to
when
now.
When they revealed the team, it was like, oh, I don't care.
Yes, no. I'm like, where's Abomination? I want Abomination in the team.
It's like why Ghost, why Taskmaster.
Yeah, I like Ghost, but like, the rest of these guys, come on. It
was such a weird. Yeah, no, absolutely.
But that's what a good Marvel movie does. They make you give a shit about something you would not even think you would care about. That's what I love about this movie, and what it manages to accomplish.
Yeah. I am now of the opinion that Abomination wouldn't fit in this movie at fucking all. He probably would have ruined it.
No, emotional beats would not. A lot of it would not work with him.
I mean, there's a way you could do Abomination and have him be more like sympathetic, but he's just gonna be. You're gonna be looking at a big ugly fucking green man the entire time.
Yeah, no, he just wouldn't fit in this kind of project. But I think, man, I'll tell you that third act. Yelena going through her memories. A lot of that stuff was done in practical. So cool. Love how that is. I love any kind of dream sequences. Or just like playing the memories of the mind, especially with someone like Yelena has had the whole childhood, like the one with the girl Anya in the forest, and then her putting the gun together first, and then all the girls get their hands whipped in the red room. That is brutal. That's brutal.
Yeah, that was not nice.
And then I love, because we've seen so many as a subject before of like abusive parent, like abusive family in a way, and Bob just being kind of tripped up by. But I love everything that happened in the attic, and it was just so weird because I'm like seeing those guys storm in, and then they're just like a part of the rest of it. I loved it. It was just like these are the last people I would expect to be in this kind of scenario. You're really thinking of like, but it worked. It worked.
They really, I think that's one thing that, like, if you think John Walker is a horrible person, I think him going in to save Bob is like one of the best things he's ever done. Like I think John is a good person at heart. I just think he goes about it in the wrong way.
He has a tendency to be an asshole.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he really does care about Bob in this case. They all do.
John definitely comes around by the end of the movie, and we learn about how his wife took his kid, and
the scene when he's like, When he's talking on the phone, when he's looking at the phone with his baby,
guy.
He's like, I'm watching. He's like, I'm watching
him. I'm watching him.
He's just
You are.
looking at
Get off your fucking phone. Stop
would
feeling sorry for yourself.
I would
all right?
describe John like this. Here's a perfect description of him. John Walker is... This version of John Walker is the one who's been listening to all of the hate that he had that every Marvel fan was giving. It's every Marvel fan's complaints
No,
that
absolutely.
has been burnt into his mind, and it's really bothering him.
Yeah, and look, in some regard, you can't blame the guy, but at the same time, he publicly executed a dude. All right, like holy shit.
I understand why he did it, but at the same time, it was also a little.
Had to go that way, man.
He got mad. He's not. That's the thing. He's not. He's not Steve Rogers. He's not a good-hearted, good person. He's not Sam Wilson, who's talking people off ledges metaphorically. You know, he's not talking to Red Hulk and be like, "We can do this together." He's not that person. He's a real guy who has been dealt with the worst things, and he's just doing what he can. You know, and again, he's flawed. Like every person in this movie, they are all flawed. They've made horrible decisions and they've done bad things. But at the end of the day, they are aware of that, and they're trying to do better, which is my favorite.
And they do. And they do.
They see Bob, and the fact that they all like trust him enough to help him.
Yeah, make an effort. Like they genuinely care about as they go through this whole.
All come together to fight for him is one of the most wholesome moments of this movie. That final sequence in the lab is like, oh man.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I love that piece, man.
Yeah. Just punching the void and just beating the shit out of him.
And just turning as trying to consume him because it's what he wants. You know, it's like, and Yelena has to come over, and they all gather around him.
Faces are cut up because of the glass, and they're like all like.
Yeah, dude. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, I loved it. Oh man.
Just quickly backtracking just a little bit. We got to talk about that Sentry fight scene again because oh man, it is.
Yeah. You know, at first I'm like, do I think this looks jank? I'm like that, and I'm like,
it's a little weird. I mean, it's a little CGI. It's a little bit.
Yeah, but it's still because of the character and the movement. You know.
I also it's better than this movie looks better than most Marvel. It doesn't look like the way
it's shot, where you're kind of just falling all around.
It doesn't feel like a sound or a screen, whatever you call them, sound screen. Like it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like that. You never really feel like that in this movie. I think everything was shot on location, as far as I know. There was they shot in Malaysia, I'm pretty sure, which is interesting.
Yeah, crazy.
So that fight scene, also just super entertaining. Like I said, you're watching what would normally be a Superman fight where he fights off bad guys. But this is a person that we care about, and he's very strong. And he's a real powerhouse, you know.
Dude, absolutely. Absolutely.
All the action with first of all, John's shield gets folded up like a taco, which is that is the accessory I want for the Marvel Legends figure. I wish it came out.
You want to fold it up,
because he still has it.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm like, you couldn't get that bent back, you know, by anyone.
The alternate accessory I wanted was the beret. By the way, the stupid hat at the end of the movie.
Yeah. That would have been. Well, they'll probably do that for. Yes. They won't make it a mistake figure. But I love that. When I saw in the cereal box, I'm like, it's got a new look. I mean, I like the helmet or hat, but you know, I do like the beret. That it looks cool. It looks cool.
It looks. I think it looks silly, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah, I mean that's John. That's John for you.
He's just owning up to it. That whole Sentry bit was great, and then obviously he voids the town, and everyone gets voided. A little girl dies,
unvoided,
which is that was crazy. Red Guardian saves a little girl, and she's like, and then she dies right in front of him. It's like, oh my god, that was because you weren't. That was not something that you usually see. You know, that was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, they brought her back, but for the moment,
we know. I knew the moment Yelena stepped in, we're like, okay, they're not dead. They're fine. Everyone's fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, and then we saw some shots of like the entire city, and I was like, okay, there's no way that's a permanent thing, you know. Which I don't think it had to. I think that's a big issue. Is like people were like, one of the biggest complaints about this movie going into it was like, how the F are these normal people going to fight the Void?
Right. Well.
And in my opinion, this is done way better than like Captain America 4 with Sam and Red Hulk. I still like that. Yeah. That's fine. But at the end of the day, that feels a lot more generic than this. And also, this is what the movie's about. It's not about like, you know.
Well, it's like the Sentry fight works because Bob didn't really want to hurt anyone. Yeah. You know, he could have killed all of them if he really wanted to.
Also, we need a Marvel Legends of his methed chicken costume right now.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Also, he's just a meth addict in the movie. That's something that they bring up a lot.
Yeah, they say it straight up. They don't hide from it.
Yeah, they don't go. Yeah, no, it's kind of surprising because in Deadpool they're like, we can't talk about that, but I guess it's through a different content. You can't joke about it. This is a different context, obviously.
Yeah.
Although I do love.
I think. Well, you're taking the subject matter seriously in this movie, so.
Well, I do. There is one bit I do like where they're fighting the chicken costume. I'm pretty sure John is like, "What the hell's going on?" And he's like, "I was on meth."
Yeah. Yeah. That I love that scene. It's so chaotic, and then it just moves again.
Everyone's getting the shit kicked out of him by this man in a chicken costume.
Like, fucking Bucky going for that punch for him. That was so funny.
So good.
I love that, dude. That was such. I love that sequence of them going through memory.
All the memories. Bucky punching his dad is the funniest thing ever.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Was it Bucky versus John? I don't remember. It was one of the two. I'm pretty sure it was Bucky.
It was one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember, because he's like, "What the hell is your problem, Bobby?" And just fucking dicks him in the head.
I was so happy to see that, dude. I feel like it was John, wasn't it?
I think it was John. It feels like something.
I'm happy it's John because John's like, "I'll be your fucking favorite buddy." You know?
I'm pretty sure it was John because he's just like he's being abusive dad and then just getting punched in the face. Is one of the funniest things.
Yeah, so good.
And that was not real, but whatever. It was still funny.
No, it's still funny though.
Yeah, very funny. And then that entire ending sequence with them in the lab and also realizing that that's where the Void like became a thing. And it was all so cool. It was also emotional, and it was the apex of the movie. And then, they save John, I keep saying John. They keep saying they save Bob, and then he loses his memory because he's got memory issues, which is, I will admit, kind of sad. I don't. Yeah. That's something I'm not sure if I like.
It might come around again, but you wonder if like what's gonna happen when he does remember. You know,
I think that's the thing. I think he's a very dangerous person. I think he's like, if the Void comes out again, it's like an uncontrollable thing. That's like
but that's kind of that's how you want to play into it in a way.
I think so.
You know? I mean, I think we all would like for him to
but they're still friends. Obviously, they still care about each other. Like as we see at the end of the movie, and then obviously the movie ends with Val.
The full was I'm getting ahead of myself. I just want to talk about that post-credit scene, but
Well, hold on.
Yeah, but they trick.
Val's like, well, we're gonna be. Guess what, guys? These are the new Avengers, and they all want to kill her. They're like, you're dead. And then Yelena's just like, okay, we own you now, so don't.
And then
Val's like, fuck.
That's the credits.
Yes, that's the credits. It ends a little surprisingly, but I actually really love how the credits continue the story. There's no like you get more answers. You get more like
because I feel like you see too many movies where they cut off abruptly. Where I feel like I would have liked to have a bit more of where these characters go after. You know, just like after these events, what are their lives like? You know, but we obviously see that through and through.
Them doing that in the credits is a great idea. It's subtle, like you can get a lot of world building done out of that. And it's not like it's anything super concrete. It's more just like people are very unsure about this team. People are like, I don't know about these losers, you know?
Yeah.
But they're funded, you know, they're the Avengers, which is funny because they're the Avengers before the actual Avengers. So, which obviously ties into then the post-credit scene which, well, the first post-credit scene is a fucking stupid one, but I think it's what we needed, honestly. I think we needed that one little, like, Red Guardian who just looks like David Harbour. He doesn't look like... He's much more...
So has the mustache.
Yeah, he's much more well-kept in this ending scene, which is funny.
So goofy.
It's very goofy, but he's like, I'm on the... He's like, you should buy Wheaties, yes?
Yeah, and that goes back to the joke of him saying, like, get put on the cereal box.
Yes.
He's a stat.
The cereal box joke. I never got what that was about, honestly, during, like, the marketing. I never knew what that was all about. Now, obviously, it... And then, the best part of the credits is that they reveal that the Thunderbolts asterisk is the New Avengers. So, this movie's technically called New Avengers. So, there's that, which is so
pretty cool.
So
it is weird. It is so weird to say it out loud.
How do you... I guess the question is, how do you make a sequel to this movie? Do you call it New Avengers, because this one's New Avengers, or do you call it Thunderbolts 2, because this isn't the Thunderbolts, or do you call it... Again, I feel like if they make a Thunderbolts movie now, it wouldn't be this team, it would be other people. That's the thing, because that would be the actual Thunderbolts.
Well...
It's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. You could just full on call it. So weird because it's always gonna be known as Thunderbolts with the asterisk, but it's gonna be. I feel like it's so. I don't know, man.
It's weird. It's kind of a conundrum, isn't it?
You maybe want to call it New Avengers, but I don't know. Nothing's really coming into mind for a moment because you're not gonna call it Thunderbolts 2, because they're not really gonna acknowledge that in the movie. I don't think they would again,
I don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah, I would think New Avengers, but maybe something like a subtitle with it, Maybe.
It's interesting. That is begs.
I think they would probably. Yeah.
That is begs the question if we'd ever even get a sequel to this, which obviously.
How would you do?
Right. So the post-credit scene. The second post-credit scene is long. There's quite a lot of information in it.
Full blown scene, man.
Yes,
it is one of the best we've seen.
Mm-hmm. They establish a lot. They show off the New Avengers logo. They show off, the building.
It's the best one we've seen since Far From Home.
Yeah.
I think I can say that safely.
Mm-hmm. We've obviously got, we got some new costumes to look at and everything.
Yeah, dude. I was not expecting the designs that we got.
Yeah.
They look so 80s in a way. Like, Bucky looks so...
They look very gaudy, but I think that's kind of the point, is that, again, this is Val's Avengers, so they're going to look kind of like... I guess a good comparison is kind of like Max Lord in the new Superman, how they all kind of look like goofy, because they've got, like, their own, like, uniform.
It's like corporate... It's a corporate,
It's a corporate decision. The Avengers, their costumes... I guess they're S.H.I.E.L.D. basically, right? I don't know, whatever. They were less corporate. This is a corporate... Val's a businesswoman. She's not... She's somebody who likes things to be flashy.
I don't know. It's from, like, the logo design and, like, other costumes.
Bucky's got the stupid red star on his other
Bucky looks... I don't hate it, but his hair looks fucking ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I was saying they look, gaudy.
Yeah.
So... I want to make a quick mention because I knew that something was going to be in the post-credit scene as the credits were rolling. Did you notice it too?
Yes. Okay, so fun fact about that. So I got spoiled for this post-credit scene because
I didn't. I went in blind.
Well, there was a guy on Instagram. I mentioned him. He posted just screenshots of the Fantastic Four ship on Instagram, and I was like, I hate you. I unfollowed him. I was really mad. F that guy for doing that. But Jake, his name's not Jake, I don't know if I'm saying that. No, he's just some toy Instagram person who I was following who just posts toy information. But I remember he also posted like stuff for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and then he also posted the final shot of Daredevil from Born Again. It's like, don't do this unprompted. Put a spoiler warning, dick.
That's not cool.
It's very lame. Cool. Anyways, so I saw that, so I was like, okay, I already knew that. But then I noticed I did notice the credit, which is, obviously they have to put it there. But at the same time, it's like, You know.
Yeah.
Most people don't pay attention to credits, so most of us.
Yeah, I'll read them. I'm sitting there. I might as well read them, right? Aside from going on my phone.
Well, I always read. Usually, I read the cast list, and then usually I read the music, and then I'll know we're at the end of the credits when I start seeing the big logos come up, and I'm like, okay, that's the end. Yeah. So I always read the music, and then I saw but like I said, I already knew.
Yeah.
You
I saw this. I didn't know.
You knew because you saw that.
I saw. Oh, we're gonna see the Fantastic Four, or we saw the Fantastic Four theme composed by Michael Giacchino. I'm like, all right, fucking sweet, and then it plays. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, this is a whole full blown fucking scene.
There's some great context in here.
14 months later, so I'm like, I got so many questions of like, all right, these guys, like, are they mostly doing their work around New York? Are they going to be traveling out quite a bit? Bob's still around, but he's just not Century. He's reading The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, which is fucking hilarious.
He's doing the dishes. He did the dishes. That's all that matters.
He did do the dishes, and that's
everyone is like hate they don't hate him, but he's like he clearly doesn't do anything.
And then you mentioned earlier, John has his fucking taco shield still.
John's got his taco shield. He's got the beret. He's got my favorite detail is
they keep using it. That's so crazy to me.
I hope he punches Doom in the head with that thing.
Yeah, you know what? I do too.
I do too. And just doesn't do anything to him.
Taco.
It's so good. No, there's some good world building in this one though. They set up the fact that Sam and Bucky have been feuding over the Avengers idea. There's like they mentioned so fun fact, Aiden, this is the funniest thing. This is literally gonna be a plot point in Super Pals. So that's so funny that they're actually doing that in the official MCU now. That you've got the two Avengers team legally having to deal with the situation. Yeah, actually. Because I was gonna have that's so funny.
No, I didn't know you were gonna do that. That's awesome. Yes. That's hilarious.
I was gonna for context, I was gonna have a show called Super Pals, and in season 2, basically season 1, Cap is dead. He's pronounced dead, and then season 2 he comes back, and then he was gonna rename the Super Pals the Avengers, but the West Coast Avengers are already a thing, and they're just Nick Fury runs that group, so they were just called the Avengers, but Cap wants the Avengers name, so then they go to court. And Matt Murdock represents the Super Pals, and Jennifer Walters represents the actual Avengers.
That's actually really cool.
It was going to be a 2-parter courtroom drama episode where nobody knows what they're talking about. It was going to be really
stupid. I wish we made that. I would have loved to see that, honestly.
It would have been really dumb. It would have been so stupid, but it would have been funny. So it was so weird to finally see that come to fruition. It's
Sam doesn't have a fucking team at all. What the hell is he doing?
The idea is Sam's like, well, I was working on my Avengers team, and you came out of nowhere. Obviously, we don't see Sam in this movie, but just the implication. Obviously, I don't think they're on great terms right now, which is interesting because
But that's been set up for Doomsday there. So
in Brave New World, Sam or Bucky cameos in that movie. They have a scene where they talk together. And they seem like they're on very good terms, but it seems like, again, 14 months later, it seems like it's not going as well. I think Sam has an Avengers team at this point, but I don't think they're public yet. I don't think everyone knows who they are. I think, obviously, in Doomsday, we're going to know who they are, because that's the next thing that we will know. And then also, 14 months later, Aiden, you probably could do that math. Isn't that roughly when the movie's kind of coming out? Think about it that.
So I don't know when this movie's taking place in the timeline, right?
I think it could be. You're right. I have no idea.
If we're thinking, 12 months from now will be next May, but it'll be next July, if that is,
right.
If they're doing it in 2024. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure. We'll have to do some research on the timeline of where we're at with Thunderbolts, because it's been very all over the place with the multiverse saga, really.
Yes, I do have a feeling that Thunderbolts takes place maybe a couple months after Brave New World. They're pretty close.
I feel like they're pretty close to each other.
It's definitely after, because he mentions Ross and how he's in prison. So, it's pretty recent after, if not a month. We were saying it's pretty close. But anyways, 14 months, whatever, is a long time. It basically catches you up mentally to where you're like, okay, that's where we're going to be. And then everything else coming out this year, as far as I know, Wonder Man is obviously going to take place before that. you know? So not like Wonder Man's going to factor into anything at all, but, you know, it's just interesting. Yeah, but
I was just trying to find. All they're doing is putting out release timeline. I'm like, that doesn't help me at all. That
doesn't help at all. We need like the actual in-universe. Look up in-universe timeline or whatever.
Let me see.
Alexi gets a great fucking suit.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
It's so dumb, but I love his like. He's like, "Where this is how it gets past legal battle." He's like, "Avengers with a Z." It's so stupid.
Ridiculous.
He's wearing this ugly ass like sponsored like race car outfit with like flames on it. It's so dumb. Because I'm pretty sure Infinity War takes place in like 2018 or like 2017 or something like that, and then we skip like 5 years, obviously. So
yeah,
I don't know. I have no idea. The timeline's great.
It's hard to tell because this one image I found is only up till Hawkeye's release, so. Yeah. Weird. But yeah, man. Thunderbolts!
We are the Thunderbolts! Yeah, that was great. I love that.
Overall, man, great movie. I was pleasantly surprised. I think it's one of my new favorite Marvel movies now. I'm incredibly excited to go back and watch it. Really took me by surprise.
Yeah, 100% you're right. I think nobody was expecting this to be as good as it was. It really came out as a surprise to a lot of people, I think. And
yeah. I hope it does super well.
I think people
this is something Marvel needed. They needed this kind of.
Well, they're not necessarily on a roll. Well, they kind of are. I mean, obviously we got Brave New World, which is whatever. You know, it's not horrible. Yeah. It's just not great.
And Deadpool Wolverine is incredibly fun, yes. But it's not like
I love that movie, but also
I do too.
It's not. It's not exactly.
I think the last movie I thought was like, this is real Marvel here is Guardians 3. Mm-hmm. That movie is fucking awesome. So.
Well, and I'll say this too. I think we've had Spider-Man for freshman year or whatever it's called, Friendly Neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm thinking like mainline. But
no, I know. I'm just meaning in general. That we've had Daredevil. We've had it's been a very nice, steady. Getting back into Marvel. It feels good. It feels really good.
This year's been pretty. It's been pretty good.
I know, obviously, you, Thatch, are really excited for Fantastic Four, but I am too. I'm ready. I'm still pissed that my theater didn't play the second trailer and only played the first trailer because I really wanted to watch that second one again.
I was thinking of you, man. I was like, ooh.
I was like, I just because it's such a cool trailer. I just wanted to see it on the big screen,
Yeah.
But anyways, I was like, so either way, right? Obviously, we need to summarize this. Obviously, so they were like, okay, what's going on? We got a signal. There's something going on in space, and they're like, what's going on in space? And then sure enough, we get the Fantastic Four jet that they're gonna, maybe their universe explodes. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe they just.
I think they're gonna save their planet. Maybe, or they're just going to be traveling. They're explorers, man. They're explorers, and I think
maybe it's an Ant-Man and Wasp situation. Maybe they save their planet and then they get sucked into another universe, and they're like, oh.
Possibly, yeah, they could have.
That's probably what they'll do. I don't think that movie will end with the universe dying. I think that movie will end with like an Ant-Man and the Wasp.
They gotta save their. They're gonna save their world.
They're in that. Maybe they're worried about incursions, so maybe they're going to explore.
Yeah.
They get multiverse, whatever. I don't know. I'm curious about that.
I'm wondering how they're gonna. But it's nice to know now exactly how I think we kind of figured that the Fantastic Four were gonna come to the MCU, to actual 616 Earth. So that's great clarification. It's so bizarre to think about. But. Yeah, I'm excited. I was saying earlier, I think they're going to have probably one of the Fantastic Four. If they're going to have more than one post-credit scene, it's got to be dedicated to them leaving, if not the end of the movie. travel out, but I don't know, maybe they're in search of something else, but it's Fantastic Four for them to travel out and to new and different worlds.
I actually think
if Reed makes a technology, for multiversal travel.
I'm pretty sure they announced recently that I'm pretty sure they announced recently that Fantastic Four has some reshoots going on.
Interesting.
Would not surprise me if that had something to do with this movie. If they had to correct some things. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know.
It was around the same time they announced.
Or if they're adding some stuff with Downey Doom.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too, because that was around the time that the castings dropped too.
I know that Matt Shagman would not commented on in the past when they were working on the movie, but we don't know.
Let's be honest. If we saw Dr. Doom appear in a Fantastic Four post-credit scene, you'd shit your pants.
Dude, it's so over. It's so over.
It's so over. I think the last minor point I want to make, it is worrisome to see they've spent a lot of this movie making us care about these characters, so it would be very hard for them to maybe die in Doomsday. I don't see them do it, but at the same time, I don't know if they thought this movie was going to be as big of a success. I don't know. It could be a situation.
I don't know. I think the studio had confidence in this movie because
maybe.
Dude, look how they put out, the press came out last week, early. It was a week before the actual film release. So I think that bears some confidence in that they had in this movie. I feel like I don't know, through the marketing and everything they've had towards this film,
I think they would die. If anything, I've always said I think Alexa would be the only one who would die. Because him and Bucky are kind of...
I was him and Bucky. Yeah.
They're kind of... But also, Ash and I were talking about this. This was the whole thing. And he was also saying, Bucky kind of needs something with Sam because their relationship's important.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And luckily, we're going to definitely see something of that in Doomsday.
Yes. I'm
so curious.
We've got... Let's think about it like this. We've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 teams of people in this movie, which is crazy.
I know, it's fucking crazy.
To tell me that Fantastic Four, Avengers.
If you said 6 years ago when Endgame came out, and be like, yeah, you're gonna have X-Men, Avengers, New Avengers, and Fantastic Four in one fucking movie. I think just having the Fantastic Four and Avengers together by themselves is already whoa. Yeah. And then they're gonna face Dr. Doom. Is just
the X-Men the X-Men are honestly the biggest wrench in this. How do they function? Are we
gonna go back to the universe where Monica Rambeau landed in because that had Kelsey Grammer Beast there? Is that gonna be that universe? Are they gonna do similar travel to through the multiverse like the Fantastic Four show up?
A new universe? Is it an old one? We don't know.
Where's Doom coming from? Is he coming from the F4 universe? Is that why they're coming to Earth? In 616?
He's probably not 616. We can probably assume that because obviously.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it's
there's so many questions.
But at the same time, it's a lot of questions. But at the same time, I think this movie gives you just enough. They're not unsatisfying questions. They're ones that you will be.
Oh. Dude, that is a great thing we can gnaw on until we see a little bit more in 2 months.
Fantastic Four comes out, which will be a little bit of a detour, but then the ending of that movie is probably going to explain a little bit more. And then Doomsday next year.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Thunderbolts killed it with both are great post-credit scenes, but a full-blown scene. We needed something like that for some time. It's funny because I feel like this movie just got it, They knew the assignment. They didn't fuck around or try to do something, stupid with it.
No.
They did it. It's so, it's so interesting. Great movie. Oh man, I can't wait to rewatch it. I want to get it on Blu-ray and shit.
It's very good. It's well deserved. They knew exactly what they were doing, and it was very good.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the better, absolutely one of the better post-Endgame films. Absolutely. I don't know where I would rank it right now, I'll tell you, because I love films like No Way Home's up there.
Yeah.
I love Multiverse of Madness. Shang-Chi is awesome. I like Wakanda Forever.
Come on. Oh, you mean post Endgame? Sorry.
Post Endgame. Yes. Yeah.
Guardians 3.
I think I said Train. Oh my fuck! Yeah, I can't miss that.
Oh my.
Oh my fuck! And I really enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine. So yeah, man. Oh man, they're so. I mean, there hasn't been a film I really hated. Like I liked the Marvels.
Have you seen the Marvels? Oh, you did see the Marvels. Okay.
I did see the Marvels.
Seen
it was fine. It was fine. Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. It's harmless.
I haven't seen it yet. I should probably give it a watch, especially with this Beast Doomsday nonsense.
Yeah. Well, it's the last movie you think to see it in, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, but yeah.
They clearly had to set something up at some point, and they're like, well.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There's a thing, I guess.
Yeah, because no one went to go see it, so.
Right. It's weird. I think that's it, right?
Is that? Yeah,
that's it for now. I'm gonna have the exact same conversation with Ty tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're gonna have a repeated conversation.
It's worth talking about this movie because of how good it is.
Yeah. No, this was great. It was a great discussion.
I'll splice in. You were cut to that conversation.
Hey, we're back. Guess who just saw the movie yesterday? As of the time of recording this, this is the most disjumbled recording session we've probably ever done. So yeah, Ty, you saw Thunderbolts.
I did, yes.
What did you think of it?
I loved it. I thought it was really, really great. I think there could have been more. For example, Yelena's pretty much the single star of this movie.
Her and Bob.
Well, still more Yelena than anyone. And I think there's a point in the movie where you're getting flashbacks, and we know that everyone else experiences those flashbacks to their own trauma, but we don't get to see any of it, and I think we should have seen a lot of that.
That's probably my biggest complaint too.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate.
I understand Bucky not having one. That makes sense. But because we know Bucky, we know everything about him. So
yeah, but also we don't really know where he's at lately.
Yeah, but I
that would have made more sense.
Yeah, this is my thoughts. I already gave most of my thoughts when I talked to Aiden, so I'm mostly gonna let you take it away. But I'll come in every now and then and be like, yeah, that sounds good, or no, I don't agree with that. But I think we're on the same sort of page in general.
So the movie is, for one, it's super interesting. I think this might be the only MCU movie ever, and I feel 80% confident saying that doesn't end with a big superhero fight.
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah, it's that's what Aiden and I were talking about. We're saying how it was. It didn't have to end like that. It didn't, for the sake of the story. It knew that doing it the way that they did it was going to matter more to everything. So,
well,
and you already kind of get
that. They established very clearly that these characters can't win against this threat.
No. This is a different threat.
Yeah. So they need to have a more of a moral or emotional victory rather than a physical victory.
I think that works actually, because unlike Captain America 4, where he's just like, calm down, and we're all just like, okay.
Just the Chris Pratt raptor thing.
He's up there, boy. I think it actually, like I said, I think it makes sense for the sake of the story. It doesn't feel cheesy. It doesn't feel like forced. It feels like it, with everything that we set up, I think it totally works.
Yeah. And then you've got all these characters who, besides Bucky, are at their lowest lows. They're at rock bottom. So it just makes sense that they would find each other and be able to help each other come up and rise above that. rise above it all, as Todd
Rise
McFarlane
above it
would
all.
say.
I mean, even Bucky, I feel like he doesn't even know what he wants to do with his life. He's like a senator, congressman.
Yeah, except
then he throws that away.
He's already out of it. He only lasted like half a term or something.
Now he's an Avenger. So there you go.
Yeah, now he's a new Avenger.
A new Avenger. Yep.
And apparently Sam is suing them for that.
Yeah. He's like, I thought we were friends. And Sam's like,
John's like, I thought you were gonna talk to him. He's like, I did. Didn't go well. So fuck you, Sam. I guess
they're not on the best. They're not on the best terms, I suppose, which is interesting because when we see them again, when we see them, they are on good terms in Cap. So
it's kind of douchey of Sam. Yeah. Also, Sam, your movie sucked, so you're not. Your team's not the Avengers. Sorry.
Yeah, they're the West Coast Avengers.
Yeah.
They get booted over.
You're the. I was trying to come up with a good insult. I was trying to remember actually what the there was a in the end credits like art stuff. There was like it was like Avengers or something like that. That was like I was gonna call him that. Anyway, I didn't know.
I don't remember.
It's too late now. It's not funny. Fuck.
You also woke up pretty recently, so you're pretty
30
tired.
minutes ago.
Yeah. So we're coming off of lack of sleep, and that's fun. But yeah.
Yeah, I was right actually about a few things. I was right that, and I mean generally everybody thought this, that Taskmaster dies in that or one scene, doesn't make it past that. Good costume. I really like the costume.
Lasted less time than I expected.
I didn't expect to get to see her face at all.
Yeah,
but then she just gets a bullet to the skull, and then literally and figuratively because she has a skull face.
Yes.
And then I was also right about Bob's hair. Because we had a conversation with Thatch where I was like, oh, I bet when he's Bob, it's brown. When he's Sentry, it's yellow. And then when he's Void, it's black. And I was right.
Well, we weren't sure if it was going to be a transformation, but they literally just dye his hair. So
yeah. Well, but then it transforms back. So I imagine the next time he'll be Sentry, it will go back to being blonde. It's like it'll be like tied to his identity now.
That makes sense. It is literally them dyeing it in this movie, but I can see them doing that. Obviously, it's black because everything on him is black except for the eyes.
Yeah, but and that was so cool. That was such a dope visual. The way just the full black silhouette with the little glints in his eyes, so sick.
I mean, we gotta rip off. We gotta address the big, suited elephant in the room. What do you think of John, man? Talk about John, your boy. He's in a movie.
So, John Walker's very complicated. In general, and in this movie, he's a very complicated character because I am like the only person that recognizes that he's actually a very good man who's very justified in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and what he's doing and how he's feeling.
Not anymore.
In this movie, I would say that he is written to be. I mean, he's still a good dude. You still get to. He never like actually ditches anybody. He's always being generally supportive, if snarky and sarcastic the whole time. He comes around on Bob, and he's the one who says when Bob is fighting his inner demons, he's like, "Get up, Bob." But I feel like this movie represents him. It's almost like the Thunderbolts, besides him, are how everyone else sees him, right? Just he's an asshole. So I mean, it does water down his character a little bit.
I described it like this with Aiden. I'll repeat this again. It's like if John had been. It's like John in universe is now living with all of the hate he got from Falcon and Winter Soldier, which he is in universe. He technically still is, but that has like burdened him, and now he feels like a dick all the time, and so he's lashing out at the world. I mean, he's on his phone when he's taking care of his kid, and he does just not care about that kid at all.
Which, I mean, it's. I don't have a child, so I don't know, but I have heard of a lot of stories like that about having a child, even from mothers and fathers, having a child being very depressed and feeling like you've wasted your life and stuff, and you just there's a lot of times where you just get neglectful. So I think that's very real and relatable to a lot of people. Oscar, shut up, bro. Shut up, bro. Shut up.
You do have a son. You hate him. You're pulling John right now. But John didn't tell his son to shut up. He just ignored him.
Shut up, you little shit.
Are you watching the baby? Yeah, I'm watching him.
Yeah, I mean, he was just right there. He was in line of sight.
It's true. Now you'd be surprised what babies can get up to when you look away from. He
was in a crib. But and then also, like, I feel John. I related to John. I mean, obviously, I relate to John a lot because I love him. But when they were all tied up because Bucky captured them, and he's like, "I'm telling you, Bucky, you know me. You need to listen to what we're saying." And he's like, "You made your choice, John." Like, what? What are you talking about? He's never done anything worse than what you've done, asshole. And also, John, you both worked together to stop the terrorists last time.
They do have a little rapport, which is nice.
Yeah.
I like seeing that again.
I do love that. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying when he sees Bucky during the convoy, and he's just like, Bucky! And he's like, oh, shit.
I love that Red Guardian both deeply admires John. He's like, oh, the second coming of Captain America. We have so much in common. And then also deeply admires Bucky.
Yep. He admires everyone.
He's like even more so than Kamala. He's the superhero fanboy who gets to interact with these super characters.
Yeah, exactly. He's just happy to be there. He loves everyone there.
And it's like he's the Russian Captain America. He's getting to hang out with Captain America's best friend and Captain America's first replacement. Yeah.
So he's fine. Like he's on cloud nine, and his daughter, you know.
Yeah, and his daughter's there, and then also.
And he thinks Bob is cool. Yeah, Ghost is just there. To be fair, she's probably the most there character of the entire cast. But you know what? It had to be somebody. But again, if you had another scene in her mind, you know, maybe could have fixed her a little bit, added some more weight to her. Because we really haven't seen anything from her since Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, you know, what's she been up to?
Yeah, and I mean, we got into her backstory there, but a lot of people probably haven't seen that who are going to see this movie. So,
sure. That's a great point. And, I definitely think she and Bucky needed a little bit more in terms of anything. There he is. I don't know if he likes it.
No, he does not. Yes, they needed more. I would like to know why Bucky isn't a congressman anymore. And maybe it's just because he went and killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, shot a magnet disc at a car and blew it up.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Grabbed a wire with his arm.
That's not cool for congressmen to do. Is murder a bunch of government, private military agents or whatever. Not publicly. You can do that privately, and they're all like, "Good job." But the moment you do that I guess publicly, they're in the middle of the fucking desert. But still, you know, somebody knew about it. We do get a flashback for Val, which was interesting. Unnecessary, perhaps. Because it doesn't go anywhere.
Make you care about her at all?
No,
or is she really still like a horrible human being?
I mean, I like watching her. I don't like her as a person. But she's like an accidental Nick Fury because she hired all these people to be assassins, and then she's an opportunist. You know, so as soon as everyone, she sees the situation, everyone's clapping for the Thunderbolts the first time. She's like, all right, how do I orchestrate this in the Shadowland so that I'm where I need to be when they pop out and they can get into the press conference? Which is ridiculous because the shadows literally just faded and there's a press conference across the wall.
Spider-Man's having a goddamn panic attack in his apartment.
Oh, God, yeah. The traumas that he's living through.
He just saw Aunt May die again. He just saw Aunt May die. Yeah.
And then Tony saw Aunt May die and Tony, and then, like, I don't know.
Fucking Kingpin watched his wife get turned into a shadow person.
Maybe he watched himself murder Green Goblin.
Goddamn. I'm just imagining, I'm pairing this with the events of Daredevil and just imagining, like, fucking Punisher just got out of his prison and he just, like, oh, let's go get some revenge. And then he just turns into dust. And he's like, what the fuck?
His family's being murdered in the park in front of him. He's like, wait. No.
Exactly. That's always, you gotta wonder, this is not going to be brought up in Daredevil or
no, I mean,
anything.
no, I could see it being brought up in Daredevil because it's not going to get brought up in Spider-Man.
No,
but Daredevil, that's actually like MCU proper, you know. They could bring it up, but probably not since they were already filming season 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
I would love that, but maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll get some like new Avengers posters or something.
This is very much an Avengers movie flipped on its side when you think about it. Because it's the exact sort of setup.
Yeah, it's a smaller scale, more personal Avengers movie with, honestly, more relatable characters.
Because you're taking a group of assholes and facing a threat. It's almost
like Guardians meets Avengers kind of melded.
I mean, I think the Avengers analogy works because it's literally an Avengers movie, but also it's like we're not getting together to fight the Chitauri and stand victorious in New York. We're fighting a guy that we actually can't fight, literally, because if we tried, we would get turned to goo. What do you think of that fight in the tower?
I love that. It was super cool. It was great to see some like Superman level action before Superman. And I don't feel like we're gonna, even the Superman movie's not gonna have him feel like that invincible, like we know Superman to be, because we know that he's gonna get his ass kicked.
Yes.
But I love that. It was super cool. And then I love the running gag of John's shield. He takes it and he bends it, and he's like, "You turned my shield into a taco."
That was the accessory that I wish they included in the 2-pack.
Yeah,
was his bent shield and his alternate head with the beret.
Yeah, I like the beret. It's cute.
Yeah.
And then I love that because you've got John Walker, super soldier, Bucky, super soldier with a fucking vibranium arm, and Red Guardian, super soldier, and 14 months later or something they say, and nobody's fixed his shield. Like literally all three of those super soldiers can't fix that fucking shield. What's it made out of? I want to know. That only Sentry can bend it.
It's part of his identity now. He loves it.
Now the image in the end credits when he's on the saddle on the shield.
Yep, that was good.
That's great. I love that.
What'd you think? What'd you think of that post-credit scene?
Oh, that was super cool. Again, fuck Sam, you asshole.
Yeah.
And then they played the second Fantastic Four trailer right beforehand, so I got to see the ship, so I knew exactly what it was as soon as I saw it in the post-credit scene.
You didn't get spoiled?
No, I didn't know.
Good. Because when the credits are playing, they show the song, the Fantastic Four theme in the credits. So that actually spoiled it for a lot of people. Okay. Yeah, because that did happen for a lot of people. But I'm glad you went in as blind as possible because it's a great scene. And it's a whole scene, too. It's not like a short little thing. Yeah, they address a lot of...
the end of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. They address so much about the actual state of where everything is and what's going on.
Yeah, and it's great. Oh man, it's great. I mean, these are going into Doomsday. It's going to be the Thunderbolts or the new Avengers and the Fantastic Four that I care about because Sam's team isn't getting a fucking movie. Can they please be the cannon fodder and not kill off the new Avengers, please? Please,
right.
Thank you.
At this point, yes, they have done such a good job at making these guys likable and making us care about them that we don't give a fuck about Sam's Avengers.
No,
team
his
at
movie
all.
sucked ass, and fucking who knows who's gonna be on his team.
Well, yeah, you'll like some of those characters, but then obviously got like Joaquin Torres, who nobody gives a fuck about. So it's
walking away, more like get out of here.
Yeah, walking away from your film. Got a lot of characters in that movie.
I mean, Thor is going to be in it too, but like, Thor's lost a lot of good faith with Love and Thunder. I don't really know if I care.
Thor, I don't even know. There's so many people in that movie. I can't even keep track.
Shang-Chi, who hasn't been relevant for years,
but been around in a hot minute. Yeah.
Yeah. So
more maybe, but I don't know if he's on the Avengers or if he's just.
I don't think so. Shuri, who I hate.
Why do you hate Shuri?
I've always hated Shuri. You know this. It's annoying.
I think you would like her better.
What are those?
I think you would like her better in the second movie, because she loses a lot of that. Oh, she gets her ass kicked mentally in that second movie.
Yeah, because her mommy dies. I don't care, bitch.
And her brother.
Yeah, it's just so good. So good. I loved it.
Yeah, talk about the movie. Come on, Ty. Talk about the movie.
I love so much that they do the like Emperor's New Groove walk up the elevator shaft.
Oh my god. Yeah. That's another instance of like realistically trying to solve a problem. Like you can't just like bullshit your way. Like any other movie would have had them be like, I have a device that can lift us up or something. But the fact that they have to come up with this dumbass solution that actually almost barely doesn't work because John jumped out.
It only works because of John. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, he did freak everyone out there for a second.
Yeah, but he's also the one who saved them. And also him fucking super jumping up into the darkness and
landing on his ass.
That was great. I wish we had gotten to see him do that super jump out in the open.
Yeah. On to Sentry.
He just super jumps at him.
And then Sentry just goes...
He goes... He just like...
He's super nonchalant. Yeah, he's super nonchalant in that fight. He's just like...
Whatever, man.
Whatever. When you're that strong, you don't care anymore.
Yeah, he can't be bothered. Mel was not Mockingbird or whatever.
She might be.
She's fucking not. Get over it.
This is a soft, very soft introduction to her character where it's not at all an introduction.
She's
to her
not
character.
Mockingbird.
It could be if they wanted to. If not, then they don't have to. There you go. That's how it is. Songbird, I think her name is. Whatever. Mockingbird's a different character.
Fucking, that's stupid. They should be the same.
Mockingbird is West Coast Avengers, and then Songbird is Thunderbolts. It's so weird.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
She's not Mocking Song.
She's nothing in this movie. She's just a woman who is concerned.
Yeah.
Girl who doesn't like what's happening.
She's just assistant. And then, she's still just working with Val. Like, she doesn't really get, like...
Yeah, you'd think there would be a moment where she'd be like...
Her character.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be a moment where she'd be like, I don't really want to work with you. And there is, but then she goes back on it. It's weird.
Yeah. There's so much. But it's also... There's so much, and I love Alexi's taxi service, I guess. Yep. And as soon as... as soon as Val got out the taxi, she's like, "Oh, fucking find them! I want them dead!" And then you like see the glove, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Hands over to his face, and he's like, And then he drives all the way to the middle of bumfuck nowhere to go find his daughter.
Middle
It's
of
crazy.
fucking Nebraska or whatever, and he's
And
like,
he's like, Helena!
Yelena, don't go! So dumb. I love him.
It's so good though, and she's
I'm
just
very-
embarrassed. She's like,
It would have been great, meaningful storytelling had he died, but I am glad that he's still alive because he's so much fun.
yeah. He got to be on the cereal box.
He did. He got to be on the Wheaties box, but nobody recognized him.
You like his dumbass suit in that final scene? It's stupid, like sponsored racing.
He's like, yeah, NASCAR ass fucking
Avengers. Yeah.
Avengers.
With the Z. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was funny. I got one for you, and you, and for you,
He's fun.
and
He's
for Bob.
he's the most unhinged person in this entire movie, which helps. He's he's crazy. He's so crazy.
And yet somehow he always is the emotional support for Yelena.
Oh, that scene with Yelena is brutal, man. That's it's so real. It's so
a lot of
so
her scenes
painful.
are just really
She's great.
really tough and meaningful. I love
so good.
the intro with her jump.
Mm-hmm.
That was really
Oh.
fun.
Yeah. You saw the oh man.
The
this
shadows
is
on the
cool.
wall.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
sick.
It was set up very early, and the movie
It's
ends
not
where
something-
it begins, essentially.
It's not something that you even like. You notice it, but then they don't draw attention to it at all.
No,
And I
no.
think that's really cool. Really subtle.
Oh,
It had me second guessing myself for a second. I was wondering if there were people looking in at her for a second. Yeah, there he is.
But,
Did you have any more thoughts on the movie?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to because there's so much, and yet also it's a very simple plot. Do you have any questions
I have questions for
about
you.
me? Yeah.
About you.
About me? Do you have any questions?
How
about
old?
me?
How old are you, dude?
Don't fucking ask me that.
Put the knife down, bro. Let me think. So we already talked about John. We already did that.
When he's like, so what do you guys think of the helmet?
Yeah, the hat. He was calling it a hat.
Well,
He's
they
like,
called it a hat, so then he just
yeah.
started.
He just he didn't like it at first, but then he just went along with it. I think my favorite bit from that entire movie is when they start talking about Dr. Phil for no reason, and John's like he's very certain. He's like, no, they canceled it a few years back.
No,
but
they
like,
canceled that show. It's like on YouTube now.
yeah, he's like, he very much keeps up with the Dr. Phil lore. He's very passionate. That felt like the most real conversation in the entire movie because that is some shit that that's how we would talk about something like that. We'd be like, no, I'm pretty sure they cancel it. Like, no, I see it on TV. It's like, no, it's on YouTube. I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm pretty sure they canceled it.
Let me see. What else is there? Again, yeah, you're right. It is so solid. Like, there isn't a lot to really specifically. Oh, just like, yeah, in general. What did you think of Bob? What did you think of his whole character and everything?
Oh man, fucking meth addicted, sign flinging chicken.
I was on meth.
Bob, if you hit me with that sign one more time, I swear.
I actually think my favorite bit from that entire sequence is when I'm pretty sure John punches his dad in the head, and it's one of the funniest things.
Yes, he does. She's like, "Where are you going, Bobby?"
Bobby, I will. So like, fuck
So
you
good.
about it.
Oh man, and I bet
might
that
be
was
my
just very satisfying for Bob.
Oh yeah, he got to do what he always wanted to. Well, he got to watch John do what he always wanted to do.
Yeah, I really like him. It's so interesting that yeah, he was an abused kid who turned into a meth addicted loser who just wanted to find more drugs in some random country that he was in for no reason. Turned into a superhero experiment. Like, it's very. It's the kind of character that you would expect to see in The Boys. But I feel like in even better than The Boys, it's a more human story because he's just trying to get by in life, and he doesn't really know what he's doing with himself. Yeah, he's great. He's really good. I like him a lot, and I hope we get to see more. I mean, you set him up to be that powerful. I gotta see him fight. Doom, and I hope that he doesn't just get dog walked by Doom, because I don't think he should be.
I think if worst case scenario, if most of those guys die in Doomsday, there's a good chance he would probably be one of the ones that survives, just because of how strong he is. Yeah. But it's kind of hard because that's his fam, you know. It's a little. Yeah, I don't want him to die. I'm gonna be honest. I hate the idea of them dying in that movie. Anyways, I've like they're so good in this movie, and I don't think, unlike in Infinity War, where you're watching all these Asgardian dudes die, and like Heimdall and Loki and stuff, we have so much history with those characters. We've had one movie with these guys. Really, like truthfully, we've had one real movie to care about all of them. Technically. So it wouldn't be as impactful, I think. It would feel cheaper. So that's my biggest fear. With that, I don't know.
Yeah, because like, when I feel like Thor, you could kill off. I don't know who else is going to be on that other team, so I don't know. But,
right.
Shuri, you could absolutely kill off because, you know, fuck her.
Bro hasn't even seen Black Panther 2.
And I don't want to.
It's good.
It's good.
Half of it is good. The Riri stuff isn't great, but
exactly.
Everything else is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fantastic.
Say that again.
But yeah.
I'm glad you liked it.
I loved it. Oh, man, why do the figures got to come out in fucking September?
Way too late, and you don't even get everyone yet.
No Bucky, no Ghost, no fucking whoever else. Taskmaster.
Can we get an alternate head sculpt with the bullet hole in the head?
I do want to get a figure of that costume because it's a great costume. It looked really good.
It did look really good. We're probably gonna get more like comic accurate Taskmaster now, though, because they clearly do not care about this version of the character. So they're done with that.
It would be very easy to bring a new one in.
Yep, have it be the I think Tony Masters is his name or whatever.
Yeah. Tony.
Stank. Tony Stank. I guess. Any last things that we can really think about? By the way, Aiden and I clip is like an hour. It's so long.
Well, I mean, you've already talked about it with Aiden, yes. So.
Well, I wasn't sure if you're gonna have more thoughts. How many Wheaties boxes out of 10? That's not something that we do.
How many John Walkers out of 10? Because he's an Avenger now. I am so validated in that. I'm gonna give it a 9.
You know what?
9 John Walkers out of 10.
9 John Walkers out of 10.
Yeah.
I'll give it.
What did you give it with Aiden, or did you not?
I didn't do that. I was actually waiting for this because this is probably the final segment. I'm gonna give it. I don't know if you can even find this clip, but if you can somehow find it, I'm also gonna give it a 9 methed out chickens out of 10.
Chicken jockey!
There's no way I'm gonna find that clip.
You might. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. But you never know.
Yeah, this is easily my favorite movie since Guardians 3, and yeah, I would say it's probably. I mean, Guardians 3 and this are probably my 2 favorite movies since Endgame.
I was gonna say, is this your favorite MCU project of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
Okay.
Well, we got Cap 4, we got Spider-Man, we got Daredevil Born Again, and then we got this. Yeah. Easy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Fair enough.
Daredevil was it was good. It was really good. It had some really great stuff, but it was also a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, thank you, Braden.
No problemo.
And thank you for watching. And we'll be back next week to talk about Andor.
More Andor. Yeah.
More Andor.
Randor.
Bye.
And you look like the duck lady from
The fuck?
Chicken Little.
What the fuck? Like the duck lady.
He's actually dying. He's actually dying.
exactly what it's
Stupid. You fucking idiot.
Let's do this.
It does look like her.
I told you, I'm not crazy.
Bullshit. Bullshit artist.
Wow.
Yeah, we finished way earlier than we thought we would. Good God.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Look at
this guy.
Look at him. He's
looking
looking
on.
out. Yeah. He's
like,
having a moment.
there's a brave new world out there.
He's like Luke looking at the twin sunsets.
Yeah. That was you in your dream for like 2 seconds, Ty, until you saw like
It was me when I saw the hot lady.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He's back sleeping.
He's awesome.